Hey guys, welcome to the Centre Bounce. Here we are today. It is a different sort of channel. We have got as usual, we always like to have our guests coming on, and the guests, they only get more and more special. We start, with mere mortals, we have human beings and things like that, but we move on. We also bring in the God, Super Coach God. Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming on, mate.
G'day, mate. Yeah, it's a pleasure. I've been looking forward to it ever since you guys reached out to me. It's been something I've been looking forward to probably more than anything this week. So, yeah, it's good to be on.
Oh, that is super awesome.
Sorry about the
Really,
dog
really
noise.
happy to.
It's cracking
We're
on.
super excited to have you on, man. Look, as soon as Big J was talking about maybe we can bring you on, it's like yes, absolutely. We gotta get Super Coach God on. So please tell us, what is it that has been getting your channel up and going in terms of the content recently? What have you been pumping out for us?
Yeah, no, I've been actually thinking. I thought this might come up, so I was thinking of a response earlier actually. So, no, I think it's just the reason I started my channel was I thought I knew quite a lot about Supercoach. Played about 4 years now, and this might be my fifth. And yeah, I've slowly been rising ranks, and I thought, oh, why not just make a channel and share it to everyone? And yeah, I don't know. It's just Ab's magic helped a heap, bro. I mean, he shouted me out in one of his videos, gave me about 100
Yeah.
subs. So yeah, that's about a third of my subs now. So
The
it's massive.
Skodfather. He's got a big following. The Skodfather. He's probably the big one that we haven't been able to get on just yet. I think we've got Supercoach Insider Boys, we've got Supercoach Edge, DR, Spills, we've got a lot of people on. We still haven't got the Skodfather, so really looking forward to eventually getting him on board. And tell us, man, how did your week go with the Supercoach this week? How'd you score?
So I scored. I was top 6% with a score of 2,326. So rose about 5K in rank, now sitting at 14K.
Very
So
nice.
all
Very
right for the
nice.
start I had.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. I'm ranked 16,000, so I scored 24-29. I had a big week this week. So yeah, definitely can't complain. And nailing your captain goes big. Did you have
No, I
freaking
know what you're going
Marshall?
to ask. I did not have Marshall. I didn't listen to the Discord. Normally the Discords are, it's actually probably wrong most of the time now that I think
It
about it.
is.
But
It is. Let's be real.
um, I didn't listen to them because I thought, oh, Marshall, he hasn't really got a captain score all year. I think he got a 120 odd at some point, but no, I stuck with my gut and went Clary. He still got me the 134 or whatever. So
Yeah.
still a good captain score.
Oh, 100%. You definitely can't complain about that. 134, you take that every day of the week. It's you want someone that's like 125 plus when you're trying to get a good captain score. And I mean, I had the VC on Bontempelli. I was thinking that he could go huge, but I also took the Clay Nova 134 as well. So look, for those of us who took 134, we absolutely cannot complain because there
No
were
way.
people out there who had the Nick Dacos captaincy, and that was
Yeah,
no
no.
good. That was
I'm
really
a, I'm a
bad.
Pi- I'm a Pies man, and I was never going to go there. He killed him last year in Adelaide, but Keys tagged him, so not to be.
Yeah, exactly. And you sort of have trepidation, I suppose, when it comes to runners playing on a small ground, and when you're earmarked to have your gun player get tagged by someone who's shown that he can tag halfbacks really well in the past. So with Ben Keys been given the assignment to go on to Nick Dacos, it's always a very terrifying thing on a smaller ground in terrible wet conditions. Look, you're super happy
Yeah,
you guys got the dub though, so you don't even care at this point.
yeah. Mate, I don't care what the hell Dacos scored, honestly, because considering he wasn't my captain, just glad the boys got up. And then I think people are underestimating how wet it was. I think Moore in a post match interview said the exact same thing. Like, it probably didn't seem that wet on the TV, but it was extremely wet. So, yeah, a bit difficult for a player like Dacos.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've also got our good man, Swizz. Swizz, thanks for coming on, mate.
All good, mate. All good.
Oh, guys, if you have been under a rock, this is obviously Swizz from Supercoach Insider. How did you go this week, Swizz?
2461 put me up to 2400 and something like that. 2400, I think it was. I'm actually trying to get it up now, but yeah, no, it wasn't too bad. Had Clary captain. Official ranking 2460. So yeah, that put me up 1200 spots. The funny thing was, the week before, I'd been debating with my listeners about Tukin Roberts versus Hawkins and Chase Jones. And if I had actually got on that this week, I could have been nudging the top 10. So it was very frustrating to see how that played out. But that's Supercoach. Played the safety and it did not work out. Well, I would have been thinking, oh yeah, it kind of worked out last week because of the way Tuk went down. But yeah, but still, I'm pretty happy. 2460 starts putting me in contention. I think I'm about 500 points off that top 10 anyway. So there's a lot of footy to play out, and hopefully some of my premiums can continue to look after him. We was answering a lot of questions on Sunday. I just was listening to your conversation about Dacos and the captain, and those who were messaging me who had failed vice captains. I was all in on Taranto with Dawson as the other one, and both of them. A few people actually swapped it onto Taranto and were thanking me today, even though they could have technically gone Dawson for 10 points. They're not going to cry over that. I thought Timmy was in for a big one, and it did pay off. So it was nice to see him put together a nice game. How are you also there, Supercoach God?
Yeah, good, mate. I think it's the first time we've been speaking together. So nice to meet you, finally.
Yes, no, same here, mate.
Love the content as well. It's great.
Appreciate it.
Where are you going with that gun of your hand? And I don't quite catch that reference. I'm sorry, Double.
I don't know what Double Dummy's on about, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going up the rankings, baby. Up the rankings. No, I scored 24-29, so I've halved my rank. I'm now ranked 16,000. So I had a nice big week for me. Not quite as big as Swizz, but Damien Williams' round was an absolute mess. Started off nicely, 1,400 from 11 players. Next 11 completely bombed. 2 first quarter sub-outs, 20-56. Total lowest of the season. Oh, baby.
That's going to be like worst possible type scenario after having that start. That's unlucky.
Yeah, I know. You just to have 600 points, 650 points from 11 players.
It's much different because that was me like last week, but the opposite. So I'd bombed early but finished strong, and I walk and go, oh well, it could have been worse. I'll take it. Nothing worse than that way. Like because that's kind of what I was sitting. And I've obviously kept going. But yeah, if I'd bombed like that, it's just so frustrating. And you just go, why? Like, don't let that happen. And I gather they must have had a few of those rookies. Nothing worse than seeing your player get subbed off too. Like I can live with Mitchell because a lot of people had Mitchell on field anyway. But yeah, it's especially if you've got like a pod kind of player, it's just brutal.
Especially the start of the season is what killed me with the pods, unfortunately, in terms of, the Nazaya Wangani Millerers, the Tanner Bruins, maybe read too much into him, unfortunately. And now you see they're still not scoring that good, even down the track after they've sort of, Tanner Bruin hasn't cemented his role, but
I think
unfortunately, I know, another 50 points. Like that was such a bust pick. Like, I can't believe I got conned into that one. Bloody curse you, Chris Scott. That's tough. Causa on you, mate. Grundy to Marshall or Blixarves, Fergus Green. Wait, Grundy to Marshall or Blixarves, Fergus Green to Chincotta, and don't know who to go out of Track, Stewart's, Clary, or Dale. Vale of Sicily.
No, value. Sinclair. So he's gone value of those guys. So Fergus Green to Sincotta or Chincotta, whichever way you want to go, is the
Yeah.
obvious one. I've been saying to people, Liam Jones is the other obvious one. If you want to make 180 to 200k, that's just easy done. Grundy's a bit of a different story. I'm going to keep bringing this up because we're talking about in group chat today. The person who shouted out to me and said, "Should I trade Grundy to Pitternet?" I'm not going to name names, but I'm going to bring that up every time. I get it. I get where he's going with it because the low break even. But let's be real here. I know a few people. I know a few people are looking at Gorney Marshall. It's funny that people actually traded out Marshall last week and he was always going to go big against Teagle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a possibility. Him or Darcy, I gather they've already got English. And out of the others, that's the big one right now where I'm debating between getting Stewart because I know he's just going to continue to kill it, especially with the draw coming up, versus or not boosting and saving that boost and just getting Sicily or Sinclair. And it's going to do my head in all week. And I feel more comfortable having the Cats players because that means getting Simpson in as well. And I don't trust there's no real rookies on the horizon. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. But yeah, it depends. I guess it also depends, Corey, how many trades you've got left and that. And I'm sure you'll DM me anyway with that. But yeah, feel free to put up, I guess, how many trades. It sort of gives you a bit of a better idea. But they're all good options. Like those 5 are the ones. Well, yeah, 5 of them are. Yeah, everyone, and I think a couple of people adding in Cripps and Walsh kind of to those discussion as well. But also depends what you need. What's your backline set up? What's your midfield set up? I think most people have got fairly good defenders, defense with Dacos, Dawson, Zeeble, and Sheasel down there. So you're probably only playing one rookie. So it's kind of you want to. Yeah, and even Day. So, and that's my bit. It's like kind of I put Stewart in. It's like my defense is done, but then it's only my midfield that looks light. And the other one he's left off there is Jack Steele, which is it's still a break even about 126, but their draw coming up is very tasty. Your thoughts there, God?
Yeah. So I noticed how you brought up Simpson, and I think Stengel's 1 to 3 weeks, and I think they just straight swap them too. So I wouldn't probably go Simpson, and then Blixarves I probably wouldn't go near, regardless of the fact that he's got the ruck role now. But in my pick of those is probably the 5 is probably Clary. I think regardless of the 140 break even, mate, he can hit that easy. Like he is a ridiculous player, and I mean, I got him last week, got me the 134, and I was stoked with that. And then Sicily, and I kind of prefer Sinclair to Sicily only because of the draw, and then Steele is probably my number 1 pick this week. But yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with any of those players, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they're all gonna be up there in that range. Like the whole aim of what you want to fill out your team with is you want like top 6 to 8 defenders, and you want like the top 8 to 10 mids, and you just feel like, Petrarca has now. I don't know. It's really interesting about Petrarca because it's like he hasn't really had this consistency before in terms of a floor that has been stable. Like he's had and he tends to be a lot more erratic with his scoring, can have a low floor, a really high ceiling. But we've seen so far this year that his floor is like 97 in the first 2 weeks, and yet he's still capable of pumping out that big like 160 plus score. So I don't know. Are we seeing just now the next stage of Petrarca almost being like him and Clary, like both of them being regular mainstays in our team moving forward? Because they are still both just hitting into the prime of their career.
Yeah, I mean, I think Petrarca, I think the last 3 years, he's been such a weird pick. He's like one of those players that you hesitate to get in because there's always going to be that little up and down slope. But yeah, I think he's proving now that I might be starting him next year, mate. If he keeps this up, he's definitely going to be a consideration for next year. I don't know if I'll go him this year, but yeah. And also, just a quick thing on Sicily. he's got the round 15 bye, we got to remember, and that is painful.
That is
for a
so
lot
bad
of
for our back
people.
lines.
That is the only reason I won't be going him this week.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's a good point you brought. Like, I think that's probably the biggest thing. Have a look at your buy structure. What do you mean? That's where, for me, not having Stewart's an easy one because he's the only one from that round that I've got no one else from that round, so it's not affecting me. I've already got Clary, but yeah, if you're bringing him potentially, like I don't seem to have a lot of round 12, so that might, and I don't know how like Corey sits in that stake, but yeah, if you start bringing in more round 15s like a lot of us have, you might be in a lot of trouble there. So yeah, have a look at that, mate. Especially if you've got that Super Coach Gold where you can look at your buys, but even so, it's pretty easy to just map it out on a piece of paper and have a consideration of that.
Absolutely. Cheese! I take back my comments about saying Bont would go no less than 140. Well, Nash really got up in his grill, huh? Like, they were very impressive by Connor Nash. But, I mean, that's why, I don't know, I always felt that English was going to be, if you had the two dogs players, like English and Bont, I felt like English was the safer selection. I don't know, I thought English was going to kill it. I was really surprised that English only went 90 points. Like, did you guys watch that game?
I was the opposite, Joe. I was like Bont, mate. Bont was going to outscore English in that one, which is, and I get it because you're thinking Reeves and that, but I just kind of thought the game style they both might have played that day. I thought there might have been a little bit more spread, and it kind of looked like it happened that way.
I was sure that Nash was going to go to Bont. That's why. Like, I knew that Nash was going to probably, like, how much can he wear him? But like, still, like, a tag is more impactful than no tag, whereas English can completely run Reeves around in circles. And I was thinking that he was going to be able to push forward, take some marks and kick some goals, which I thought was really going to just boost his score up even more. But it just didn't seem to play out that way.
Yeah, so I've VC'd English, thinking, he's the most consistent player in the comp at the moment for Supercoach scoring. Hasn't dropped a score below 131, I think it was.
Ridiculous.
And think even though Bond's 200 games, like, he's going to play amazing, and he did still play very well. I just thought English was the better option considering his consistency. I would have taken a 130 score, a 120 score even. I probably would have taken, but I think it's just an outlier. He's going to keep cracking on.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. He's a lock for everybody. I can't believe it's not 100% owned, to be honest, to Bontempelli. I think we know which ones are the autofill teams, which ones are the ones that have died off. Jennifer, yeah, we actually spoke about Petrarca, and Double Dummy is also interested in Petrarca. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard not to be interested when.
Shout out to my good mate Grimo. We were at the pub and the game yesterday, and he was so big on him and didn't pull. I think he jump on Day and Canelio or something like that, like the rest of us. I know he jumped on something a bit different, but all week he was tossing up between Petrarca and whatever trade he ended up doing. And I was all on it, but all the other advice was don't jump on Petrarca. Then he went with that, and I was like so disappointed because I was like, mate, Trax looks awesome. And I think I talked to a couple other people in getting Trax. So I'm big on him. It's just it's one of those. How does it fit in my structure? But I think he looks awesome.
The only
negative there was Jen in her Collingwood top. Like, can we not have Collingwood supporters posting in their?
Lay off them, mate. Lay off them.
Mate, they're good. They look. I was there Anzac Day. They look great, mate. And how exciting is it to be a Pie supporter? I know I had somebody messaging me yesterday. Just every week to know that you're never out of the game and you're winning like that. There's nothing better in sport. So
there is. It's us winning and us holding on to our leads. God damn it! Like, come on, we work our ass off to get in front, and then we bloody choke it away. Come on, that's not good.
This might come back to bite me, but I'm pretty confident Essendon will make finals. Only because really they've got North and West Coast twice.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous. But yeah, cool. back on track though. I mean, I'm looking in more after his bye because he is playing round 15, so I think that will be a more valuable time to get him, regardless of his cheapish price now.
Dylan Moore?
But yeah. Huh? Wait, what was that?
I said Dylan Moore.
Oh, mate.
I like, we'll talk about Dylan Moore before because our league name that's named after Dylan Moore is 14th overall. So well done to everybody's in that league with our little ode to him. But yeah, I get it. The only hard thing is like bringing a guy for round 15 because I think most teams are trying to, they're be fully upgraded by then, or even if it's a few, mid price like your Days and Hopper guys that would. We're using as premiums. So I always find it hard to bring in those guys. But yeah, it is like how many of them can you have in the midfield? I'm just having a look at mine now. And like you take out, no, here, does he have the round 15? Because no, he's got the, what is he there? No, he's round 14. So yeah, I guess you could bring him in round 15. That actually does work. I was making up my Melbourne buys. So yeah, that would actually even it up because, if you're looking around 15, you've got your Bonds, Greens. You might have Hopper in there. I'm just looking at Carlton. So there's
have to out Hopper that week, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's the hope. That actually would work really well if you could get Hopper to get that buy, and you could side swap him to Track. As long as Track doesn't go up too much money, that could actually work really well. That's the other problem with these guys. How much cash will we have by then with some of these rookies just not coming along?
Yeah, and Petrarca historically is a post-buy merchant. He tends to go pretty big after the buys as well. So
the old Zachy Merritt.
The old Zachy Merritt. We got to get Zachy Merritt in. I'm surprised Abs got on Abs Magic got on him so early. It's like, mate, it's not buy time yet.
That's right. But yeah, track could go up 50k. Sorry, mate. You go.
No, I was just gonna say, like, Merritt. I don't know. He's such a difficult pick to get in. Like, I don't know. Just from previous years, I know he's averaged well, but he's never been a 120 player. He's always been that 110 kind of player. And I don't know. You just got to find the right price for him. I think an under 600k would be probably preferable after the buys.
Yeah, for sure. He's the one that opponents tag. Like, they're not going to tag Parrish, and they're not going to tag Shield because his ball use isn't as dangerous. So it's always Merritt who's going to be the one immediately copying the tag, and that's what happened on the weekend. O'Connor straight to Merritt. So I've always find that if you're trying to decide between the two Essendon mids, I don't know. I like to lean towards Parrish. He's harder to tag, and he's capable of accumulating a lot of contested possessions. Zeret is he's a nice one to have. I don't think he's ever a must-have. Big Tommy, mate, good to see you. I want the names and addresses of every single person who traded in Dacos this week. Mate, yes, right. It's all their fault. Yes, Tommy, it's all their not Keys, not the conditions, not the small ground, not the fact that Adelaide couldn't get the ball past halfway in that last quarter. It's all on them for trading him in. They cursed him.
I don't know. The thing about the small ground, I don't know about that because I think if you look at last year's scores, and I think earlier when he played in Adelaide, he's scored really well. Probably his best scores have been at small grounds like Metricon. I don't know how small that is, but I don't think it's massive. And Adelaide last year. So I don't know if the small ground is a reason, but definitely the other reasons are completely valid.
I think the Adelaide weren't anywhere near as good last year as they were this year when they played against Collingwood. So they're definitely a lot better.
Even then, it was a close game.
The way, I know they seem to have a thing. These two teams, and probably got some scaling or something. I don't know. It just feels to me that playing on a smaller ground, if it's harder for the runners. Like, I know Josh Kelly is similar in terms of Josh Kelly likes to use the width of the ground to have that space to run and accumulate, get some. He gets cleaner disposals being an outside player. And then we saw the bounce back in Kelly's score this week playing on a bigger ground. Obviously, I don't think the size of the ground plays anywhere near as much of a factor as like the conditions do, but I still do think that if you're selecting between captaincy options, look at this week. You could have had a captaincy of, or even last week, you could have had a captaincy of Tuke Miller or a captaincy of Bontempelli. That was over 100 points difference, and that sets you up for such a massive, difference in the overall points and your rankings that you really have to, when it comes to trying to select who the most optimum captain is, I think you do have to take into consideration all of these factors. It might be pedantic, but I don't want a crap captain score. I've copped that once already from Rory Laird in round 1, and I'm trying to want to avoid it as much as I can now.
Yeah.
Thoughts on getting Owens over Goulden as a pod, or better to follow the crowd and go with Goulden? Eddie, you don't have Goulden yet? Interesting. Well, he's cheaper than when we all started him. He's lost 8.6k, which is not too bad. What's his run like? How many players? He's got Collingwood this week, Freo at the SCG, the North, then Carlton at home, St Kilda at home. I don't know. He's got an iffy sort of run. He's got a tough week this week against Collingwood, who are doing really well in limiting midfielders scoring this year, which is definitely something different, not something that we're used to seeing. And then he's got a couple of easier runs with Freo and North before a tough run of Carlton, St Kilda, and Brisbane. So I don't know. Look, do you guys reckon Goulden is someone that he gets in over Machito Owens, or do you think Owens has proven himself this year?
I don't know. I'm not hot on Owens. I mean, he's definitely a good player, but a good young player. But I don't know. The fact that he's young and he could get managed at some point just would put me off a little. And Goulden, I mean, yeah, his run is a bit difficult, but I think that North game, mate, he could have 180. Seriously. And yeah, I think the thing with Goulden is he gets a lot of his points, maybe 70% of his points off score involvements. And against Collingwood, that's going to be a bit tough this week. So
that's right.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd get either of them this week, to be honest.
Yeah, no, not for me either. Like, yeah, I've got Goulden, so I'm not trading him out, but I'm not reaching to get him. If you've got Jay-Z or Zeeble, Jay-Z or Sheasel, I'd rather, Eddie, if I was you, I'd move one of them to the back to the forward line and probably look at a defender before, or even a midfielder before those forwards.
And it's really easy to do with Chincotta. You got to get Chincotta in this week. You need to get a defender in. So it's very easy if you have one of those two that you mentioned in the back line to swing to the forward line. Fergus Green to Chincotta seems fairly free, yeah?
Yeah, yep. And I think there's, as we've said, there's the more value. Like, I don't know exactly what his cash is there, but if you're if that's only your options, well, maybe it's just to go down and try to load up for next week. But if you can go one up, one down and find an extra, we're only talking 40k, 50k to get to those options we were talking about before. Much better value with your Sinclairs and your Jack Steeles.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeez, worth bringing back in Doherty. He looked good.
Who would have thought? West Coast.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Nah, stay clear.
Yeah.
No. He's burnt me way too much this year. Never, not in no way. Thinking Setterfield and Filippo to Petrarca and Chincotta. Whoa. Look, Jennifer, if you really believe in Petrarca, that he's going to be a top 8 mid this year, that he's got the consistency and also able to pump out some big scores for you. Setterfield, unfortunately, it was sad. It's sad what's happening to Settergoat. It's a sad thing. He doesn't look anywhere near like himself from earlier in the season. He looks like he's running tired. He's not tackling. I don't know. Is the writing on the wall? Do I have to get rid of him this week, Swizz?
Yeah, you do, mate. Unfortunately, it's
unless you have Grundy, I think you have to get rid of him.
I'd even argue you'd go both.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, You're gonna have to change the Discord name, mate.
I know. It's gonna go starter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I actually had Grundy in my R1 last week. Because of the Wits late out and English had already been playing. I was sort of forced into the Grundy move to avoid copying a donut. I traded out Grundy last week and I was able to get in both Cogs and Day. And I fielded Samson Ryan at R2.
Yeah, that's no good.
No,
He scored me a 71.
It's not ideal, mate.
It's not too different to Grundy's scoring, to be honest. So, look, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I might have to somehow get rid of Set a Goat to get English in. Is sort of what the situation that I'm in. I need to get a Ruckman. Or do I wait another week with Samson Ryan and hope? And now that English dropped to 90, his break even's 161. Could hold on another week with Samson Ryan at R2 and bring English in next week.
What's his break even?
Samson Ryan or English?
Yeah, Ryan.
Ryan's break even is -10.
Oh, you got to hold on to that, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% holding him, but he's got the forward DPP, so I can like have some sort of trading out. Like I could trade out a set of fields, and then swing like a Roberts into the midfield, and then send Ryan to the forward line to get English. It's a bit of mucking around, but it's doable. So that's sort of what I'm going with. I'm hoping Samson Ryan can score me something similar to English to Grundy and Gawn, like he did for me this week, and hopefully I can then get English in the next week. It's crazy. I have no idea how that happens. Fiddler, hey guys, Chincotta's obvious choice, but are there any other options that you guys are going for other than Simpson? Also, as for getting a Primo in Sicily or Cripps.
Yeah, I was just putting in the group chat there. Teagle's the other. Probably, I know a couple of people have said Angwin to me, but Lycett's form was apparently awful in the Sandfall again. So it's just hard to bring in 198k Ruckman and sitting him there at R3. But I guess it is some nice coverage in case your Ruck does pull out. Could he be potentially, we've had in the past, I'm trying to think who
Rob.
was it? Rob there before. So, yeah, well, he did actually make some cash. Even Witsy was awesome price last year. But, could Teagle play out the year as the number one Ruck? We saw it in pre-season that they rate him. How well is he actually going to score? Probably only 60s and 70s, but at least that's cover and potentially some cash making. And if you've got Madden, you can put him as your forward loop for a while and then, shove him back in the rucks once Teagle's done his job for you. So there's not that many others on the horizon. Like we're talking Atkins and Kempt, who are both over 200k next week anyway. So, and that depends on how they play this week. So yeah, it's getting a bit sketchy, the old rookies.
I mean, who's played one game? Who was? There's Weddle, right? Weddle played one game this week.
Yeah, it wasn't
ordinary score. No, I mean there was the thing with. I was actually hoping we'd get onto Teagle because if you have, so like me, I have English and Marshall. He does cover 1 week of the bye round, which is nice if you are struggling with the buys, if you look like you're gonna struggle. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's the only reason you'd probably go Teagle. I don't know if he's going to make a heap of cash, but there is that positive if you do have the luxury of many trades to go.
Yeah, for sure. 198k just sitting there on your bench. Hoping for the bias to come around and that he's still playing, that he's still named, and that, you know what I mean, and that he's because they had a bit of a revolving door last year with their ruck line, didn't they? And who knows, maybe like shit comes good down the track, but yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one.
Rucks are always going to score like decent, like Teagle didn't play that well and still got a 60.
Yeah,
I did the big risk. Well, I think it was when we had Rob. And I'd moved on whatever premium rack. I feel like it was even gone at the time. I knocked him because he was about 650 And I went, okay, I'm going Rob as my R2 while everybody else had him on the bench. He was still, but he was scoring at least, 90s and put that cash elsewhere. Now, that is a huge risk, and I'm not recommending it, but we keep talking about it on our pod. If you're ranked 40, 50, 60,000, well, why not? Like,
Exactly.
What do you got to lose by trading out Grundy to Teagle if that means you put Grundy's cash to another premium elsewhere? And
Correct.
would you rather Teagle at R2 scoring, say, 60s or 70s and your premium in the midfield, or some rookie who might be getting subbed out scoring 20s or 30s? And then you've got a Ruck who, again, could be like Gorn, could be anything. He could score 130s or whatever if you bring him in, but at the same time, very much sharing with Grundy, still could go 90. So it's just those are the considerations. You're not doing it if you're in that top 10,000 or top 5,000. But yeah, I always think people who are dropped out, why not have some fun?
I mean, that's the reason why we didn't start either Gorn or Grundy this year, because we know that they're both eating into each other in terms of their scoring. They're both sharing the ruck loads. They're roughly 50-50, 55-45, 60-40 on any particular game. Maybe it's trying to slowly build up Gorn because he's just come back from his injury. He came back in the shortest time frame that he could have possibly come back in, which was the 4 weeks. And so maybe they're trying to let him find his legs and try and sort of build him in terms of space out his contests so that he can last the whole year. He's not a spring chicken anymore. Obviously, Ruckman these days are able to play for a lot longer, and Gorn's a magnificent specimen of a player. But still, like they want to extend his career. They want him to still be around and fit and firing come end of the year. So they've still got a premiership push, and they need Max Gorn to be healthy for that, because we saw what happened when they only have Grundy. They lose to Essendon. And a team that loses to Essendon isn't winning the flag.
Yeah. I mean, an interesting stat I've just looked at before of DFS Australia is they're pretty much 50-50 for CBAs. I mean, Gorn might have 3% more or something, but it's pretty much 50-50. So I don't know. I'm not confident on Gorn as a pick this year. I know we had that good round 1 score, but yeah, I'm not.
It wouldn't surprise me at all either, because they travel this week. That he plays this week, come back against the Hawks, rests against the Hawks, and then and then they've got the Port Adelaide travel again. Because I thought he came back early because it's just the Anzac match, and it's the significance of that. So obviously it was feeling fine for North, but yeah, it's a bit different when you jump on the plane. I can see a lot of people trading out Grundy this week, and then the following week, Gorn out. Grundy sold Ruck against the Hawks and goes 140. It's the Sean Darcy scenario all over again, and it's just people are gonna be hating life.
Because when you look specifically, so on DFS Australia, they also have a segment where it's specifically in relation to ruck contests, not just CBAs. When you go to Melbourne, Grundy actually had 55% of the ruck contests. So it's not just the CBAs, it's also the ruck contests around the ground. So when you look at that, Grundy actually had 55%, Gorn had 38%, Shaki had 7%. So even then, in round 1, Grundy had 37%, Gorn had 48%. But then you look at the next few weeks, it's almost all Brodie Grundy in terms of the percentage that he has around the ground compared to Gorn, obviously because Gorn got injured. And then he comes back, they're equal, 48 apiece. And then here against North Melbourne, it's 55-38 in Grundy's favour. So they might be on par roughly in terms of the CBAs, but in terms of the rucking around the ground, it seems to be that Grundy is the one who is being involved more, because he doesn't really provide much outside of that. He's not a great forward, and he's not a great player to go behind the ball and intercept marks like we've seen so much from Gorn last year.
Can you, Joe? Can you get up Jonas Goat's last comment, the one he just posted
about Port Magpies?
Yeah. So, and this does lead into the Grundy Gort, because that's what I was saying before. Lycett got towed on the weekend, absolutely towed. So does shore up Teakle, and maybe it is. Maybe it's Ruckman don't have a long time in the game. Like it takes them ages to get their peak, and 24, 25 competing, but then they really fall off the cliff when they get to 30. It's just the unfortunate part of it. And maybe this is the case. And they showed last year they were happy to play Sam Hayes and start giving him opportunities.
That's right.
Now,
yeah.
And now it's Teakle. And we were talking about in the preseason that Teakle was the guy they went with first. And then, probably for whatever reason, maybe it was just back in Lysett but now it does seem like they're more likely to go with the younger guy. So that kind of is interesting, and it's a good point. Also, the Duke's brought up is how long until sort of Darcy Cameron comes back. I believe it's still 8 weeks, which is such a shame because he would be so much. It'd be so much easier to take that high risk move of going Grundy down to Teakle, bank the cash if you knew Darcy Cameron was coming back in a couple of weeks. Because so it's unfortunate, but because you could have at least then had Madden at R3 and then Darcy Cameron there as the backup and swinging them around depending on their matchups and stuff like that. So it is frustrating, but as I said, it comes down to your ranking, and that's what the Duke's like. Are you talking us into it? Well, again, it just depends. Just depends where you're ranked, and I always believe on this, and it also depends. Like if you're a head-to-head player versus a league player versus an overall ranking player too. If you're a league player, don't even consider this as an option.
For sure.
But if you're just an overall player, this is definitely one of those ones. It's like the Himmelberg thing last year as well. It's you jump on him and your ranking just soars. These are the moves where people just will not get onto because the risk is so high. But
but when your rank is so low, it's the green light to take those risks.
And that's why I just ask people, like, post your rank and post how many trades you've got too, because it does help us to get an idea. Like, you can ask questions and it's all well and good, but if you're ranked 50,000 or if you're ranked 2,000, it changes my thinking how I answer your question completely.
Yeah. Just quick shout out to Dante Visentini. Went to my old school, so shout out to him, mate. I've watched him play. He's a very good player.
I liked him in the preseason game. I thought he really busted his ass off. And in the preseason games, the both of them, Port Adelaide looked really bad, but he seemed to shine really well. And I thought he was an option to be playing games. But look, if he's able to dominate in the twos, that's all he can do at this point in time. The problem that he's got is Port are winning games now, and when you got a winning team, it's hard to make these big call changes. It's if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Right.
So it's
apparently.
Who knows? When
good luck. I was going to say I don't really like Cheese. Good luck, mate. Go win your basketball game.
You're a legend, Cheese. Cheese, you're a superstar. We love you, mate. Honestly, love seeing Cheese on the channel. Big Tommy went early on Chincotta. Luckily, it paid off. He's still got Green, Wilmot, and Ratatouille. Not loving any of the rookies' job security this week, except maybe Teakle. Do I go 2 down, 1 up, and use last boost or hold? Last boost, the downgrade options aren't there this week. It was obviously Chincotta, but from him, it's him and Teakle. There's really no one else that's scream and pick me, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to use a boost on it. It's hard. I mean, you have to get Chincotta in this week, obviously.
Absolutely.
And I wouldn't use a boost on Teakle. And the fact that we are in upgrade season, it's just such a hard pick to go.
Would you use a boost on, say, Teakle or Simpson if it meant going up, like if you bypassed on Sinclair or say Steele and you wanted, say, Stewart or Dawson, would you recommend that, or would you just say people take the value and go your Sinclairs and Steeles?
Well, what I've done Wilmot. What have I done? Wilmot, Setterfield and Green to Sinclair, Steele, and Chincotta. So I'm on that train. But yeah, I mean, there's no reason why you can't get one of those rookies. I'm not confident in either of them really. So I can't go there.
Yeah, it's tough. I personally, using a boost to get Teakle in probably isn't. I don't think what the boost is really meant to be used for. I think the boost should really be a good way to in order to help you get the Uber Primos. Shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't think boosting at this stage of the game just to try and get some more cash gen on the bench is the way to go. I don't know. I just feel like we're in upgrade season, as you say, God, and it's just really important that we're getting rookies off the field and being able to use the boost if it means getting a couple of mid prices out to 2 premiums and getting these rookies off the field is the best way to go about it. I mean, right now, how many rookies do you guys have on field at this after trades, after planned trades coming into this week? I've got Chandler, Ryan, Chincotta, and Ashcroft. So I've got 4 rookies still on the field.
Yeah, I've got the Chandler, Chincotta, Ashcroft, McKenna.
Yeah, I guess we're not counting Sheasel as a rookie, so
No.
Ashcroft, 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 Chincotta, Chandler and Mitchell, or Van Rooyen, or whichever way I go. So we've all got the 4.
Yeah, exactly. So I just feel like it's really important at this stage in upgrade season as we're getting closer and closer to buys. The whole aim is to have a 4 premium team. And it's really hard to one up, one down every single week in terms of being able to get premiums in. So I don't know. I'd personally hold that boost, Tommy. I'd hold that boost for something a lot more obvious. Jonas says that Brad Scott turned the set of beast into the set of chick, and that chick is going to the grinder this week. Who would you rather bring in, Petrarca or Cripps, or risk it with Steel? Jeez, Jonas.
That's brilliant.
Don't treat him like that. Jeez, man.
So good.
How do you even come up with that?
That's awesome.
Petrarca, Cripps, or Steel? Look, I don't think Steel is a risk, to be honest. I'm not sure.
Jonas,
I mean,
can you tweet me that? I'm going to retweet that. That's brilliant. Swizz26, tweet me that. That's amazing, mate. Go on, mate.
Just on the Petrarca, Cripps, or Steel. With Steel, I was never considering him as a starting pick. I don't know if any of you guys started him. I never considered him. But at his price, he well and truly can. He'll probably hover around that 600k mark for the rest of the year, I think. Whether it be 10k less, 10k up. But he's probably M8 at the end of the year.
It's the fixture. It's the problem is it's the fixture too. If you don't jump on, North Melbourne, we saw how many points they leaked to the big 2 last week.
Yeah.
I think a couple of people might have been a little hurt because Took the week before, but they're just leaking points. The Crows at home is obviously a tough game. That's a bit of an outlier. But then the Giants, Hawthorn, and then 2 weeks after that, after their buys, Richmond, and then 2 weeks after that's West Coast. And even on the run home again, they've got North Melbourne and Hawthorn. There's just so many games where he can potentially go large. And for me, it's like, okay, sometimes it's like, they're playing an easier opponent, but they might be like a guy that just goes 120. But we know Jack Steele's got 150s, 160s in him. Now, he might have not shown that over the last couple of seasons as much as he has in the past. But even on the run home last year, he had that game of the 143 against West Coast, the 133 against the Doggies. So he can still do it. And they're just playing so well. So they get Max King back, who looks likely could be even due back in 2 weeks' time. That's another target that they're kicking it to. And the potential for them just to absolutely dominate games and still be, in the middle, in the guts, tackling again. Like, he had the 11 tackles on the weekend. So that's been probably the worry, because sort of the niggles and injuries last year, he, probably wasn't tackling as much. And then a forward line to kick to. It could, as you said, very easily can average 120 and be hovering around that 600k mark.
It was really hard for him, and I think the other St Kilda mids as well early in the season, because all their forward stock, one after the other, was just going down. So it became really hard, I think, for these guys to get score assists for all of their kicks inside 50, because the way they had to dish up their goals was a lot of transition running off half back and trying to just simply outwork the opposition with quick, fast ball movement to the open side, a bit like what Collingwood have been so successful in doing in the last quarters. So, and Steele isn't that kind of player. Steele isn't the one who's running and gunning on the outside and receiving these. He's your in and under contested ball winner. And so I suppose another thing that you could really need to consider is, he might be up against tough midfields, for example, but if they're good matchups for him as an inside mid, then it could still mean that he could have really good scores, even in those supposedly tougher matchups, because a lot of what he does is so contested. Now, of course, there's some literature out there in terms of research that's been done looking at how the rise of Crouch has sort of been eating away into his scoring, and especially in relation to tackling and things like that. And I think there's definitely a relationship there. So I still think that Steele for his price is genuinely value. And I agree that he needed to just get some run. He did come back from an injury. He had a low score last week, not this week. They just won, but the week before, because he was tagging Cripps. So I'm not sure how often he's going to be given a tagging role. It's not every day you're up against a dominant inside mid like Paddy Cripps, right?
No,
Yeah.
100%.
Cool.
Can we just go to the Duke's comment saying he's 1.5k rank? And let's go that real quick.
Yeah, well, that's the hard, because I know you were asking before the Duke about Teakle. So you're one guy that definitely shouldn't be getting on Teakle. Though if you did and it works out, mate, it could be definitely you could be talking, put yourself in contention for that cash.
Also, is this a bit of a clanger? 17 out of 18 premiums. Pretty sure you need 22, don't you?
22.
Yeah, that's definitely a clanger.
Or was he saying 17/18?
Yeah, I think it was my 6th sub or something, the Duke. So I love the bloke, but you've had a bit of a clanger there. So
back in your box, mate. No need to flex on us. We're here to help you out. And when you were asking us for help, you're asking us for help. You can't be flexing on us and asking for help at the same time, Duke. He's got bot 150 plus on his. Help me out, guys. I called bot 150 plus on his 182. I called Marshall. I called Laird. Steelers going big, and he's a good captain option versus Ruse. Are you sure we're helping you out, or are you helping us out with this information? Are you giving us inside scoop, Duke, that you can tell the future, and you reckon Steele's going to go big this week?
The only reason I don't go Steele is because I use the boost to get, say, Simpson or Teakle in, so I can get Stewart, because it really scares me not owning him. And his next 3 games, he scores against. He played Adelaide, Richmond, and Freo last year, and went 174, 161, and 187, and that just scares me not owning Stewart. But yeah, Steele's got a very friendly draw too, so it's a debate. I know a few people who don't have Dawson have been throwing that in the group chat. So I nearly think Dawson's is priced out on people now, and that, which is unfortunate. Yeah. It's a lot of money to pay up, unless you've got the ton of cash for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. But that's what we're talking about with these lack of rookies, and that's the only debate for me going. Is it the case we've got so many lack of rookies? Do I just take the value and just pass on a player like this? And it's so hard. I know. I'm sure whatever option I go, and probably some people in here, it's going to go the opposite way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think it was Hippo's video, but he mentioned Dawson is like, oh, I'm going to get him in a couple of weeks. He looked at his score and he went ballistic. He's like, that's the video, guys. I'm off.
Yeah, Hippo's a god. We love Hippo. He love having him. He was on the channel this week as well. So that just last week. So that was good fun. And everyone couldn't believe it that he was smiling and he wasn't angry. And it's like, what's going on? What's wrong with Hippo? Why is he so happy? It's just like, mate, we have that effect on people. What can we say? Global, you don't have to apologize to anyone, my friend. Honestly, dad life is hectic. Yep. Look, the fact that you're sitting in the car.
No, don't apologize for that, mate.
You're watching us in the car waiting for your daughter to finish shopping, mate. Like, are you kidding me? Don't apologize. We got to thank you.
Why is your daughter shopping when she could be listening and talking about Supercoach? Like,
That's the question, right? When she could be seeing Swizz, do you know who she's talking? Do you know who this man Swizz is?
my boys
Sportsman
would
of the
get,
year.
I
He
don't have my
owns
sunnies.
Dandenong, bro.
My boys wanted me to wear the sunnies tonight because as I was walking to Marvel yesterday, they were taking photos of me. I got to get Grimo, and he might even have the picture if he can post it or whatever. But it's the Mickey they're taking, and they're actually walking up to people to go, "Do you know who we're walking with?" I'm like, "Oh no, stop it, boys! Genuinely stop it. This is awful."
This is sporting royalty right here. He owns Dandenong. I work in Dandenong. I feel like walking out to the street and just interviewing people. Do you know who Swizz is? Like, tell me. Tell me more about this man.
Genuine.
Yeah, the Supercoach voodoo is real. Yeah, honestly, global, it's ridiculous. Like, people have had situations this year where they've like had an injury, trading into another injury, trading to another injury. Like, it's just been non-stop sideways trading for a lot of people to start this year. And you obviously can't predict this. You just got to roll with the punches, unfortunately. And it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the sub rule as well. It's cooked a lot of our rookies. Even Mitchell this week, his profits could be short-lived. But yeah.
Why is Sam Mitchell? Why do you do that? Why do you do that?
Sam Mitchell and Chris Scott, bloody worst coaches in the league.
Unbelievable.
Oh, and Magneto. Magneto's awful, mate.
Magneto beverage. Supercoach Pro. Yup. Yes. We got to get you on, Brad. We got to get you on, mate. Don't you worry. We will have you on. Thank you for tuning in. 100%.
I actually watched one of his videos today. That's funny.
Yeah. Guys, if you haven't subbed to Supercoach Pro, head on over. He knows what he's doing. I did beat him in the content creators league the other week, though. So cop that, Brad. No, I'm just joking. Guys, go on sub to Supercoach Pro. He's a gun with big guns. Global. My philosophy is to get rid of bench rookies first, second on-field rookies, then play the break-even game with your mid-price players. Yep. That is get rid of the bench rookies. Well, Fergus Green, bench rookie. He can go. Chincotta, on-field rookie. The best kind of downgrade, I think. That is sensational. Theo, Oscar Allen to Stewart and Green to Chincotta. Keep it up, lads. On you, Theo. Oscar Allen, man, I can't believe
those are amazing trades.
This guy he's done really well for owners.
Yeah, my mate started him, and I thought you were an idiot, but he's done very well. Those are the best trades I've ever seen in my life. I think. What the hell? Yeah. You couldn't be happier. I don't think.
To be able to get Oscar Allen to Stewart in a 1-up, 1-down. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Congratulations, Theo. You are absolutely killing it. Corey's got 5 rookies on field. Seamus Mitchell, Chandler, Ashcroft, McKenna, and Chincotta. Yep, that's fine. Big Tommy needs Corey Wagner to get named so we can trade him. Or can that fraud Stuart Dew name Charlie Constable? We really need to have some sort of hashtag free Charlie. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, who is
it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because the Gold Coast defense ripped us a new one yesterday. Absolutely ripped us a new one. And Charlie Constable could have had 80 touches yesterday, and he's not getting in the side after what they did to us. Like, Will Powell brought his own footy, and and the hard thing for the Suns was they absolutely belted our VFL team. Like, it was
really?
It was a real bad day for Richmond all round. So I'm just.
How did Constable do?
Yeah, he'll dominate. 32 touches, mate. 23 kicks. It was just awesome game of that. But 128 AFL fantasy. But it just they throw out Flanders, Connor Blakely. They all got on my Elijah Hollins. They absolutely killed us. But then I think Richmond's best player was in that side was Thompson Dow. So that shows our depth at the moment.
Oh, Thompson Dow.
I don't know if is Ben Long still playing?
Just seeing if he played seconds or not. He definitely wasn't out there in the first yesterday. Or if he was,
I'm just wondering how the hell he hasn't got suspended.
Oh, he was.
Yet.
He actually was.
Every second game he's played for the Saints, he got suspended.
Yeah, no,
So,
he is. He didn't barely touched it. I just didn't recognize him at all because every other son had liver poisoning yesterday. And he must have just been sitting somewhere and watching it. Oh,
yeah.
and how unlucky. Every son has dominated, and a couple of people sent me their teams with Bailey Humphrey on field with -3. This is brutal. It cost Grimo and I draft stars. Like he was in the $15 game, and I'm in the $2 game. And the only difference we had to the winners was we had Bailey Humphrey, and that cost him about $1,500. It cost me $300. So thanks for that, mate.
That is rough. Jono, on you, Jono. Thanks for coming in, mate. Looking to be at 17 keepers after trades this week. Very, very nice. Setters to Steele, Green to Chincotta, and Filippo to Phillips. Phillips.
Which Phillips?
How many
Will
targets
Phillips?
did Constable hit?
I'm
Yeah, it's
just
going to be Will Phillips. So, hang on, Green to Phillips.
Not Andrew Phillips, that's for sure. I
No,
hope he
and
gets
definitely you're
dropped.
not trading in Will Phillips, are you?
You're
Sure.
trading
No.
in Will Phillips,
No, it
Jono.
can't be.
And you're definitely not getting Phillips.
Disregard that message.
I-
I've said, okay, we will disregard that.
We will
one. All right,
disregard.
read
We'll
these
pretend that
updated
never
ones.
happened.
Oh, okay, here we
Yeah,
go.
that never happened.
Here we go.
Guys,
Drum roll.
we resume our regular broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. We just had a slight
Yes.
technical difficulty there.
Yeah, that looks better, mate. Yeah, Pooh to Simpson, Green to Sincotta,
Yes.
Setters to Steele. Yeah, that kind of makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
I'm wondering if he can do it. I'm assuming he can't do it without getting Philippo to Simpson. I don't know. I just don't like the Simpson pick. I feel like as soon as Stengel comes back, he's out.
Geelong have updated it and said Stengel 5 weeks.
Oh, really?
They got
Because I think it was
3 to
Oh
5.
my-
Sorry, here we go. Yeah, but that's the thing with injuries this year. Like that could be coming tomorrow, but
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Well, if you're gone,
But if he is out for a few weeks, if he's out for at least a month, because you don't think they're going to bring him straight in, he might. Stengel's the sort of player they might put a game in the VFL. Right? It's not like one of the superstars that just comes straight in. So there is potential for Simpson to play 4 weeks.
yeah.
I mean, he's got Adelaide at home,
Yeah, the draw's so soft.
Richmond,
Yeah.
Fremantle, GWS. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
that's
You
why
almost have to go with him.
that's
don't you?
why Stewart and Simpson is so tempting for me, because I've got no cats and it's really frustrating me.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to get on a roll here. They're going to just towel up teams. And I think Simpson, why can't he just get on the end of a couple each week and kick a couple goals down there? Like,
Exactly.
yeah, he could easily go 70 over the next month.
Jeez, it might be a double downgrade. for me this week.
Gary Rowan could get dropped before Simpson as well. Like,
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
shocked, Gary. When I saw the stats, I was like, no, surely Rowan was the sub yesterday. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
All good, Jono.
I think I mean, depending on your rank, he could even go Teakle because is Teakle ruck forward?
No,
it's just Ruck.
He's just Ruck.
Pure ruck.
Yeah,
that's
which
the
is
problem.
annoying.
That's the
Yeah,
problem with him.
Chuck
So if you've got
as a
Madden, you
Wolf
can
on
make
the
it work as your
Yeah, if you've got
R3.
Madden, you can make it work.
Yeah.
But
We got Hippo in the chat, guys. We got Hippo, super coach.
I've traded 7. Hippo, that was like me. I think the year I finished 250th. And then I've backed in like Crouch and Sloan because I nearly took me to the promised land the year before. And by round 3, those two were traded out. And whoever I traded them to were out within 2 weeks. And it was just the biggest nightmare of the season. Yep. So I feel you there, Hippo. It happens to the best of us.
Big Tommy providing us with an update from the Giants. Thank you, Tommy. Young
Good
Ruck
work.
McMahon has returned to full training following off-season foot surgery.
oh my god,
Could you imagine?
Are
him
we about to
playing?
get
Like,
more cash, Jen?
That'd be amazing. It'd genuinely be amazing.
Please, God, you've Supercoach God and real God, please hear our prayers and bring us some more cash, Jen. Your boy Huss, hey gang, thanks for coming on, mate. Love having you on there.
just on Jono's most recent comment. What do you think about your trades? I think they're great. They're good. No reason
And
not to
for
do
those
it.
of
No,
us,
putting Simpson
for
back
those
in.
who know, the trades were
No.
these.
I'm
So
going to live trade here. Simpson's going back into my team.
Yeah, I might.
yes, get in there, son. It might be a double. It might be a double downgrade for me this week.
Yeah,
It's,
I'm going to use my last boost. Like, stuff it. Who cares? Like, why not?
Well, it's whether I want to do Simpson or get an extra primo.
Get in, Stuart. Get in my team.
Get in there, son. I love Stewart. Honestly, I got Stewart. I got
It hurts
Stewart the
me not
week
having
most
him.
people got Dawson. I ended up getting Dawson the following week for a bit more money than what Stewart was. But overall, for people who are paying up now 610K for Stewart, that's still like hovering around close to the price that he started off at. Whereas Dawson, he's now made 63.8K. Like it's too out of there. Like you can't be spending that much money on one player at this point in time. You have to go. You have to go for the. I think.
Oh, that's right. I
For
can
the
only do it
value.
by trading Wilmot. I didn't really want to trade Wilmot. Yeah, that sucks.
Kevin's got 5 rookies on field. Better go 3 primos, Sinclair Steele, and another 5 to 500, or 2 Uber, Oliver and Stewart.
You can
What do we
get
reckon?
you can get Sicily in at 5 to 550. I think 3 is better. You just want to get primos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get them
exactly. 100%. Jonas got, thank God Lockie O'Brien got dropped, always falls over, slips over, goes to ground, couldn't keep his feet if he was shagging his girlfriend on the washing machine. Honestly, Jonas, mate, we love having Jonas on the chat. He always comes.
I just shared his tweet too. I was just he's for the one from before, or the one that I put up for him. Apparently, here's one. Jai Clark dominated the VFL on the weekend for the Cats.
Yay!
Just a lazy 29 touches, 9 contested.
Beautiful. Is he a chance
Mate,
to come in?
I know you talk about
but it's an
Cats players.
expensive
I know you talk about Cat players, but I just after Bruins just killed my season.
Yeah, I know. Tanner Bruin has just left a really sour taste in my mouth too, man. Don't worry. It's
he's a preseason gremlin.
100%. What a trap pick. Oh, I've learned so much. Never to do not take that much stock in preseason games moving forward. Honestly, like you just got to back in the overall general research. Do we think that Will Phillips comes back in? You'd hope so. If you're an owner.
Depending on injuries.
Yeah.
Exactly. Will LDU come back this week?
He should. Yeah.
He should.
I don't think. I doubt it. I traded him out last week as soon as I found out he was out. To keep Wilmot in, and then Wilmot got me another 12K, so I couldn't be happier. But I don't think he will.
Yeah. Are you keeping Wilmot this week as well, or is he part of your trade plans?
I think I'm trading him to Sinclair. So
yeah, that's the hard thing because I can keep him if I go Sinclair instead of Stewart. That's hard debate.
Yeah, and if I end up not going Sinclair and maybe getting him next week, I can just do Cowan to Simpson instead.
I think I'm saying picture to a boxing match. Yes, I gotta watch out for his goal. Man, this guy.
I'll take him.
I'd love
his small man syndrome.
I played him.
We can take him. I'll use my length. I'll use my reach. I
played him in basketball about 5 weeks back. Sam Mitchell.
Yeah.
We're in the same league. He has a little basketball team. Like I'm 18, right? So I'm with all my 18-year-old mates, and he's got his like little dad's group going out there, and it was hilarious. And then Hippo, you should tag team with Joe. I reckon. I think he was on your hit list a couple of times.
Yes. Oh, I'd love to meet up with Hippo for some SmackDown. SmackDown versus Raw. Super coaches versus the dud coach. Cup that. Yes, I called you a dud coach, Sam Mitchell. I called you out. Come on. You know where to find me. I'm on YouTube. I'm talking live to people. Downgrade options other than Chincotta. Haas, they're fairly dry, man. But there's obviously Chincotta. There's Simpson that we're talking about that could play. Now, there's some, double dummy doesn't believe that he's going to play up until GWS. But look, if he does, we're smiling.
I'll tell you something. So I was obviously out with Heater recently. We were talking about that, and they don't rate Briggs at all. So Bruce can't get his body right. So what are we down to for them? Flynn, and
Flynn's a good ruckman, by the way.
Yeah, he's not a bad ruckman. And who else they got going? Yeah, so it's really pretty well Flynn carrying the fort at the moment.
They sent Himmelberg in there sometimes too.
Yeah, so if Flynn was to go down, they don't have many options left. So
don't sleep on the return of Madden.
Yeah, exactly. Jesse, Himmelberg had 18%
and it might not even be Ruck. It might not even be Ruck, but like Madden's a chance to come in and play forward of that, and they just throw him.
Has anyone seen is there anything to suggest that he's actually a good player?
No, not at all. Like there's people in the preseason, a couple of people in the know up there, and we get very limited information about GWS. But there was one guy in particular, and sorry, I can't remember who it was just like, this guy is a genuine spud. Like he's going to come in and score like 30 points or something. But I was like, I'll take those 30 points during the bye. They could be important.
100%. Oh, absolutely. And some cash is better than no cash. And as our good friends Ab says, no money, no honey. And I want the honey. Bloody double dummy he's got his money. He's got his money freaking with bloody Sammy. He's watched the box. Look, mate, what I lack in experience, I'll make up for it in enthusiasm. And I don't like that flop. All right, I'll say it as it is. Supercoach Pro, any 500k pods.
I was just actually looking at that. That's probably the biggest pod is Will Powell from Gold Coast. And if I could trust his body to last more than 3 games, then it's like, okay, he has played 5 in a row, but it's probably been his biggest issue. But and the hard thing for it is, how do we get a proper judge? Because they're playing Melbourne this week. He's gone 125, 143 against North and Richmond the last 2. So he just had it in a string in that defence. But that is one really left field. And a couple of those Suns probably feature in that. Matty Rao,
Matty Rao.
He was always going to be the one that's going to, able to take those tackles and do that. Hayden Young was just a pre-season favourite from some. I don't trust him to recover. But, yeah, they're really the only options that stand out.
Mason Wood with the fixture.
Yeah, actually, I don't mind that. Yeah.
Yes.
Because he'll.
What about Tobias Green? Do you like Tobias Green?
Is he going to punch anyone? They're playing the Dogs this week. They hate the Dogs.
No, he
might punch someone there.
I don't think he's going to do anything as captain.
Yeah, that's the problem. Not going to fly the flag. He's in good form.
Look at his scoring.
3-round average of 112.
The guy's a jet.
He's a gun.
He's a genuine jet. But have you seen the Giants' upcoming draw? Like Dogs, Pies, Saints, Geelong. Like that's horrific coming into the bye.
Blake
you would have thought Brisbane was tough. He scored 101. You would have thought
he did.
Sydney was tough. He scored 104.
Brisbane played no defense that day. They're just like, okay, we're going to kick more than you.
Yeah, that's true.
And also Bailey Dale's interesting because he's going down a lot in price. And if he gets to below even around that 400k mark, if he starts providing some, he starts showing that he can do something, then he could be an option. And also, Blake Acres has been putting a bit of a clinic on at the moment.
He has been, yeah. I've got him in drafts. It's brilliant.
I'm more interested in why Hewitt is not backing up his year last year.
That has killed my draft because there's a couple of leagues where I've gone, I'll take Mills round 1. Oh, Brayshaw's there round 2. Oh, look, George Hewitt round 3. Will Brodie round 4. Thank you very much. What a midfield.
Exactly.
And I've got the biggest spud draft midfield in the history of Supercoach right now. He look absolutely awful.
They've all just tanked. Like even Brodie tanked. But Hewitt, Hewitt's the one that surprises me. I thought the guy's genuinely a gun.
we thought wrong.
Nice
No, I
deep
know. I was the
analysis
same.
right here. We thought wrong.
Oh, it's hard being. I hope they turn it around. But yeah, that's really frustrating me at the moment.
I mean,
Did you
who
speak on Weller?
Lockie Weller.
He's 3-round average of 110.
Wow.
He's interesting off the half back line. But yeah, there's not
a huge lot.
there's not many.
You're starting to scrape bottom of the barrel stuff. Actually, there is one under 500, and that he's still got a big break even. No. Well, that is true, but continue to watch Bailey Smith because he's got forward status. He's now under 500k.
Another boy that went to the old school.
Yes.
Love it.
Boy. What about the package, Jakey Stringer, mate? The package he delivered against Geelong, 145. Not bad.
Oh yeah, mate. He's the biggest. He's the most inconsistent player I've ever seen in my life.
Correct.
Mate, you talk about Jordan De Goey, maybe 2021. I reckon he might be more inconsistent than that.
But we've got the saying because it's obviously Kmart Dusty, which is De Goey, and then you've got Audi Dusty, which is Stringer. But for some reason, Jake Stringer had 32 centre bounce attendances on the weekend.
Because
that's more than Parrish and the Goat.
We needed big-bodied mids that were explosive.
Unreal. Like if the Bombers are going to play him that much in the midfield, then get on. But,
exactly. But he'll get injured doing so.
Yeah, that's right.
Do a hammy or a calf or something. You know what I mean? Like you. Yeah. I know.
Yes,
King
dummy. Yeah.
We're not actually.
Right. Yeah. We're not actually. See, I agree. Yeah, I only pick great guys like Tom Lynch in my side. So.
Yes, for sure, absolutely. Cozzy Pickett. Apart from that 16-point game against Richmond, which I have no idea how the hell that happened, and the 61 points in the loss against Essendon, hasn't been too bad. Are we contemplating Cozzy Pickett maybe?
I mean, when Ab said it, I was contemplating it, but no.
He's getting
there is no way if you show that you can score 16 and a 61. Was it in consecutive weeks as well?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
No way.
I thought it was a typo. Like, did they mean to put 2 61s in or something? Like, nope, 16 points.
I was laughing so hard when Abs was like, I'm getting Pickett, and he scored 16. I was like, love you, Abs, but wow.
Abs, man. The recruiter comes back shaking his head. No, don't think so. Yes, Tommy. Joe the Jinx versus Sam the Flog Mitchell. I'm buying the PPV right now. Somebody needs to get Sam Mitchell on the phone. We gotta.
Yeah, can we turn this into a WWE rules, but chairs and tables and stuff?
Sledgehammer out.
TLC match.
I'd love it. Come over with an RKO out of nowhere. Yes, that would be good.
Because I feel like you've got more mates than Sam Mitchell. If it's a no DQ mate.
Look, if we're comparing my mates with Sam Mitchell's mates, I'm feeling pretty sad. I can't imagine this guy with friends apart from maybe a couple of teammates like Lewis Mitchell or something from from the Premiership days.
The fact that he's AFL coach, AFL 300 game player, however many he's had, and he's playing basketball on a Wednesday night with a heap of 45-year-olds. I don't think he's got many.
Yes, we should do that. We'll take up. That will be one of my conditions. Oh my god, I like the wood call, says Brad. And Bazza option. Got to do my round review, but I'm hung over. Day drinks yesterday got me good. Mate, day drinks, Tinder dates, Supercoach, bro, mate. He's living life large off the Supercoach, of the Supercoach field. He could have got Brendan Cox in that week. Oh yeah, Cox. That was.
But we all said it. It's like
we said it.
Yeah, the way they were playing, it's not going to keep happening. They were getting smashed in the media because of that. It's just unreal.
Yeah, just on Mason Wood as well. I mean, his lowest score is 89. and he's had 2 sub tons, but they're 98s and 97s, and then he's got a 134, so there's a ceiling there. At
And
his price, he actually looks really nice.
It's not just even the form this year. Like, he came home on fire last season, and then we obviously had the preseason for him, where like he looked so good there. But yeah, if you look at his run home in that last, I think it was the last 5 rounds, where clear role change, where he went 99, 104, 105, 99. So there's got some good history going there. So it's not. I don't think the ceiling's humongous, but if you want somebody who's consistent as anything at that price, he could do a lot worse.
And looks like he even got injured in the game where he got a 99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kicks the ball too. He just kicks the ball. And those players who are like that lead up the connection, that's kind of what Setterfield was playing the first couple of weeks.
Yeah,
they just take like 8 to 12 marks a game because they connect between the half back and the half forwards. And nobody goes with them. So that's what he's doing. And against, like, I just said, like, Heine doesn't have the huge ceiling, but North Melbourne this week, he's probably the one that does come out and score 140. It's either going to be him or Sinclair. Steele probably actually goes 120. And that just the way I feel like the game will play out. And it'll be, probably Wood and Sinclair that's the beneficiaries.
I think it also depends if LDU plays. Like, if LDU plays and is good to go, they could get some center clearances going forward, which will take the ball from the inside to the outside, and that will just really play into like Sinclair's hands, because obviously Sinclair is definitely a lot more of the outside type of player, running and gunning off half back. So I actually think if LDU plays, we could see more scoring from Sinclair. To be, I don't know.
Where I think if LDU plays, it might help still, because he's got somebody to tackle then.
Exactly. Yes. Correct. So you could end up. So regardless, we're thinking that these St Kilda players are going to have a good day out. So congratulations, Jono. I know you're a big St Kilda fan. You're going to be very happy with that. And he wants us to check out his team, Man of Steel, Dr. SC. So I'm actually going to present it here, so you guys don't have to worry about sort of pulling it up on your phones and stuff. So here we have it. It's on here on the right. So can I zoom in a bit? Yes, I can. So overall rank 16-7, not bad. 23-15 round score. Day costs Sinclair, Day, Zeeble, Stocker. Still got Stocker. Seamus Mitchell. He let you down. Oh, he's still got Chesser.
Yeah, I've still got Chesser on the bench.
And Cowan.
He plays his role as a loophole.
Yeah,
does he still have does he have Constable?
Parrish in the midfield.
And Charlie. Yeah. So the midfield was Bond, Clary, Neal, Darcy, Green. Yeah, that's very deep. That's how many premiums is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 premiums. We're hoping he might have been a 6th one, but midfield Ashcroft. Hollands has been really good. I'm actually really happy with Hollands as a rookie, just giving us some consistent 60s. You know, he's made us his 123k so far. I can't complain. Like, I feel like if things were bad, I could field him during the year, and he'd give me a 60 points. So that's not too bad. Rowan Marshall, he's got Johnson. I think we all got Johnson. Most of us. Did you get Johnson over last week?
Yep.
Yeah, I think everybody. English, Rowan, Taranto, Dunkley, Rosie, Golden, Sheasel, Fergus Green. Yeah, he's stunk it up for you, mate, unfortunately. So
yeah, got to get rid of Philippou. That is atrocious.
Yeah, 20 points. That's a yikes. He actually lost money this week. So what's his break even now? 84. Yeah, he's that's not what you wanted from your cash.
In the same boat as Jones as a starting pick.
Yeah.
Just ordinary, didn't do enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Jono says he's going to be bringing in Steele this week. So yeah, you can bring in Steele. You get Hollands onto the bench perhaps, and you end up with 6 primo mids. who can you send to the forward line? Because you don't. Are you going to trust Fergus Green to be sitting there as well at F6?
I assume he'd go Green, Philippou, and what was the other one? There was one and Setterfield.
Yeah.
And then figure out a way to get Steele and either 2 rookies or possibly, if you have the cash, another primo. But yeah.
Don't you forget my trades. Yes, I've forgotten your trades. I'm sorry, Jono. I've forgotten your trades. I've read so many comments.
Was he the one that posted the trades where we were like...
Oh, yes, the one that he had the Phillips.
Yeah, right, okay.
Curtis Simpson, Green to Cotter, and Setters to Steele. Yep. Well done. That was very nice. I like it. You've done good. We approve.
I think. Oh, here we go. I can actually look that up. I'm looking up your team now, Jen. Hot Pies, is it?
Yes, Hot Pies.
And of course, there's a billion teams named Hot Pies.
Hot Pies, come get your Hot Pies.
There you are, Jennifer. 9,525 rank.
Mate, they're really that hot, aren't they? Jesus.
They are.
Far out.
They win from everywhere.
It's
ridiculous.
Maybe I have to put a space.
Yes.
Hot.
I reckon this is the best we've been in since 2010.
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah, you guys are. But the thing is, I feel like a lot of people, a lot of coaches, perhaps, like their decision to send Dawson to the back line, it just screamed to me, we want to win this game so badly that we have to defend the lead. I feel like they went away from what was putting them in the winning position. And
that was the same with you guys on Anzac Day. Everyone got spooked because you guys have put Langford down the back line instead of trying to, like, one more goal buries them. And that was the same with the Crows. Like, one more goal, and they're like, no, what we're going to do is just defend for our lives. And you can't do it. Like, Collingwood's got guys who can kick goals from here. Like, they've got so many options. Like, they don't actually have the proper foot. Like, Myercheck's a battler, but they don't have a guy that they rely on the forward line. They create their goals through different avenues. That you can't defend against a team like that. Try to hurt them the other way, and it's just costing teams.
And in doing that, it allows a player like Jack Crisp to be an extra stoppage, and then you're letting John Noble, a defender, kick the last goal.
That was insane. He's got wheels, that guy. Like, people forget. He's such an underrated player.
People think he sucks.
That was a clutch goal.
Yeah, he's great.
So, like, it's just so annoying how all of these teams just seem to, team after team, like Collingwood are an all-out offensive juggernaut. Like, their defense isn't what is. It's their scrambling. They get in the ball quick. Fast ball movements, sprint to the outside, create this wave of running that ends up just overwhelming you. You can't be inviting that by taking away a player from stoppages and putting it behind the play. Because if Dawson isn't intercepting that mark or killing it with a fist out of bounds, what is the point of achieving that? It's basically just giving up field position and inviting all that pressure. So, look, I don't think it was wise.
I've got some breaking news just coming through. Zorko, hammy, Daniel Rich, calf to miss 2 to 3 weeks each, both of them.
Oh, boy.
McKenna, the hold of McKenna. Yes.
Yeah, I traded McKenna this week.
I traded McKenna last week as well.
Kept Wilmot because I was like, McKenna's pretty well done. And that, but it looks like Wilmot will be getting held if I can.
Top 6 defender.
No. Oh, no. Is it too late to trade him back in now? I got Ridley. Should I go Ridley down to McKenna at this rate?
If you think you can make 150 in 3 weeks, go for it.
Well, without Zorko, without Rich, maybe he will. Oh, my God. But yeah.
He's going to go bananas.
No, Jennifer, I've added you on my rivalry.
Oh, Captain Dacos. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I was just looking through your team, Jennifer. Philippou's the one that's naturally got to go. That's the obvious one. You've got Setterfield there. So there's 2 obvious trades for you. You got a good rank inside that top 10,000. So, yeah, it's if you can kind of move one of them down. Do you have Sin Cotta? No, you don't. So that's the obvious one straight off.
Yep.
Philippou down to Sin Cotta, make the cash there, and then chuck
And
it
you
on
can get
Setterfield and
Setterfield.
get someone.
Yeah.
Get a Steele, get a Sinclair if you don't already have them, get a Sicily.
Yeah.
Either of those three, I think, they're great picks. I don't think you
Yeah.
can go wrong with any of them.
100%. On your gym, a very nice team. The Duke, we'll always look you up. The Duke. Duke, 1853. What a rank. 24-30 score. Dacos, Stewart, Sinclair, Day.
Oh, he's got a full
His
back
backline's finished. He's got a
Backline's
finished
finished.
backline.
That's so cool.
Cowan Mitchell,
And
Bont, Laird, Das.
he'll probably end up moving Zeeble into the forward line to accommodate for another backman. So
Yeah, exactly. Bont, Laird, Parrish, Green, Cogs, Hopper, Setterfield, Ashcroft. Very nice. Oh, you went early on Shinkotta.
Oh, what a smart man. Does that mean he missed out on Mitchell, or does he have both?
Oh, there's no Mitchell. Oh, no, he
No,
does in the
there
back
is.
line.
Oh, he's in a
Yeah.
ridiculous position.
That was wonderful. Well done, Duke. Well done. So you got early on Shinkotta, and he went with Mitchell last week. Toronto, Dunkley, Rosie, Goulden,
He's just got to
Chandler.
worry about. He's just got Grundy. That's the main thing there.
Yeah. But you would think he would have freed up cash if he did double downgrade last week of Mitchell and Shinkotta. So I think he should have money in the bank in order to be able to do something with Grundy.
Doesn't have Van Ruin.
No. I don't
But
have
he
Van
has
Ruin either.
He has Ryan. So
I got Ryan instead, yeah.
yeah. It was one of those two for that week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
From memory. Yeah.
Correct.
And I think either.
Oh, no cash? Really, Duke? No cash? You did double downgrade and you got no cash. How? Where'd you spend the money, man? What the hell?
If you have a look, you're clearly getting rid of Green. You're clearly getting rid of Setterfield.
So it's what? It's Green to Simpson, is it?
Yep. And then if Setterfield, so from that you probably have 100K.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then you go Setterfield.
Yeah, Sinclair I think is definitely top 6. So that's definitely worth a trade, man. Absolutely. Yeah. So if you do, Fergus Green to Simpson and Grundy to Teakle. And there's your money.
This guy is in a ridiculous position. Oh my God. Mate, I love the Duke. Mate, comments on every single one of my videos.
Yeah.
Love the man.
He's the Duke for a reason, man. He's an absolute superstar. So, your back line is great.
It's not just a great position because the number one team, Best Coast Eagles, I think their team's starting to struggle a little bit. Like the thing that
Tim
put him
Kelly
up
got a 70.
Yeah, that's the thing because he was riding on your Tim Kellys, your Jimbies, and those guys. So obviously Jimby's hurt, so they'll have to come out. Yeah, I might be interesting to see what he does with Kelly because it's the sort of guy that I feel like he won't trade and could hurt him as other people are, bringing in premiums now. And even Liam Baker, now that Jaden Short's back, he's completely lost his role. So that's definitely going to hurt. I think it's Callan, and that's where he was 500 points ahead of Nathan last week, and then Nathan's back within 200 points. So and Nathan's got a much better team because he got on Jack Buckley.
Jack Buckley.
Yeah. So he's also and his midfield looks pretty solid. It's probably his only weakness there has probably been Warple, but still got out an 88 last week. He's also got Jimby still, so he's probably going to trade him. Sam Sturt was his probably issue on the of the rookies to bring in because he is not great.
I'm interested to know how many trades the Duke has. He just wants to chuck that in. Because, mate, if he has around 20 trades...
He could be on for the money.
Oh, mate, he's in a red-hot position.
with a finished back line, the forward line, Chandler Ryan. Does he have Cogs in the midfield? I don't remember. Yeah, he's got Cogs in the midfield, so that's a forward. So he just needs, and Chandler is very fieldable as an F6. 20 trades left and a boost for Duke.
Oh, he's ridiculous. Nah, that is. Oh, actually, that's the exact same. I'm assuming is that after your trades? If not, he's in the same position as me, but his team is just that far ahead of mine. Because
Look at that.
I'm down
Duke,
to 7.
You're ahead of God. You are beating God at this game. You are a freak. You are not of this world. Congratulations on you, Duke. Who else? Travis Bowen. Check my team if you want. Hungry like a ward. I never had a center field. Well, congratulations, I guess. Hungry like a ward. I got love the name. Ward Travis. Another Hawk supporter. 18,000 rank. Dawson, Dacos, Lloyd. We've got Lloyd, Zeeble, Buckley. Congratulations. Seamus Mitchell let you down. No, it wasn't him. It was freaking the flog Sam Mitchell who let you down. Cowan Constable. Yeah, the backline bench seems to be the weak spot for a lot of people. I'm noticing. A lot of Cowan Constables or Chesser. Like there's dead rookies back there. Oliver Laird. Oh, he's got the two big boys. Oliver Laird, Taranto, Green, Day, Ashcroft. But you're fielding both Baker and McVeigh. Noah Long, another one dead. Matt Roberts, dead. Ratatouille at R3. English Marshall, yeah, it's good. Dunkley, Rosie, Toronto. Machito! You call Machito Owens! Look at this is a pod team. And Rochelle.
What a great pick.
Wow, you've got Rochelle as well.
He still has Kama, keeping the faith.
Keeping the faith with Kama. It's true. The Saints need him, man. Like the Saints forward line has not been right, and when he's come back, they're just simply not bringing the ball to ground.
Cordy's worse. Cordy is a terrible player, and if you just go up a bit into the midfield on this guy's team, I think he's got a bit of an issue. I don't know if it's much of an issue, but he's got Day and Taranto both in the midfield. So preferably he's going to have to find a way to get them both back into the forward and defense line.
Yes.
And I don't know, it could be easy for him. I'm not 100% sure, but it could just be a bit of an issue when there's other players to bring in.
He could be able. I mean, Rochelle's forward mid. I can't believe Mitch Owens is averaging 97 for the year. And Dylan, he's got Dylan Moore as well. Like you got all these pods hungry like a water. Yeah, I love it. It's so cool.
It is cool. All right, what's Rochelle's break even? Because you might want to get rid of him this. Oh, maybe not. Maybe hold him for a week.
But he's got Geelong.
They play Geelong, but that's not good.
Is it in Geelong at GMS? Yeah.
Yeah, GMHBA. Maybe get him out, and depending on how much cash you have, you've also got to get Shinkoda in as well.
Well, I mean, if he does
Noah Long, you get rid of
Rochelle, and then you can.
What hurt Rochelle this week was Ben Keys playing more midfield time.
Yeah, because Ben Keys followed Dacos
because he followed Dacos up the ground. Dacos had 12 CBAs, which naturally Keys had 12 CBAs. Yeah, which is like, sorry, Rochelle, out you go every time.
Exactly, and it's amazing how simple it is when a coach is like, "Yep, you've got one job, you got to follow him." Like, the ground doesn't stop at halfway. Yeah. Like you can keep going with him, you know.
And Laird and Dawson are the two getting kicked out. So
exactly,
sorry, young fella, out you go.
So do you think Keys tags danger this week?
Nah, I don't think.
Or do you reckon he could tag a Stewie?
Stewart is the
I was going to say
potential
Stewart.
because Keys can play forward lockdown.
Yeah.
So I couldn't
He's
see that
playing that
happening.
defensive forward role. That's almost like what his role has been relegated to now, to be the forward, the defensive forward, lining up on the opponent's most dangerous half back. He's done it on Saad. He's then done it on Dacos. And when you think of Geelong and dangerous half backs, you'd expect it to be Stewart, right?
Yeah. And if
Well, it's
Stewart
not going to
gets
be Mitch
tagged,
Duncan.
Stewart gets tagged this week.
It's not going to be Mitch
Oh.
Duncan.
Yeah, God, I could fade Stewart.
If Stewart gets tagged this week, the rank rise could be insane for me.
Yeah. You don't have him either, do you?
Nah, I don't have him.
Nah, see, that's where it's tempting to fade him because of that. But, I do.
I'm backing in my
I'm just
man.
discussing it in my AT team chat now.
Come on, Stewie boy. You can smash him. Don't care about him.
Dacos guaranteed tag as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The amazing that he wasn't like Hawthorn literally said, like showed in preseason, you need to lock down on this guy.
Correct.
Grimo. Yes. I was just messaging with Grimo, so I was out with him yesterday all day, and he I just messaged him and said, "Oh, you jump on the centre bouts, mate." So thanks for jumping on, Grimo. Should try to get his team up. His team, I'm pretty sure his team's flying. I think it's Martial Law. Grimo, is your team Martial Law? If you can hear this,
we've forgotten about Wagner.
Yeah, because he wasn't named.
Yeah, but he could come back.
That's Grimo's
Freo
team.
can't win.
That's
they could have a lot of team changes throughout the year.
Beautiful, very nice. Looping between Wilmot, Mitchell, very nice. On your Grimo, Bont, Clary, Taranto, Zeret, nice. Green, Goulden, Set a Chick.
Yeah, said it was going this week. We're watching that together at the pub before the Richmond game, so we were just packing it so much.
English Marshall.
Grimo, how's that $11 Coke going, by the way, mate? And we go up to the bar and he gets a Coke and they charge him $11. And
what?
My mate gets a lemon lime and bitters and they charge him $5. And he's like, something's clearly gone wrong there. Surely.
I think he bought the wrong kind of Coke.
They clearly charged it as alcoholic. Like, what?
I think he bought the Coke and Ice,
that's right.
Ben Cousins variety, perhaps.
Yeah. I reckon he's got a Captain Morgan's there with that.
Yeah, it's got to be. Gee, that's way too expensive for a Coke, my word. But, man, Van Ruin Green, what could have been?
Just a sturt. That's it. That's the thing that hurt you of the rookies that came in, Grimo. And that, because it's left you a little short on that forward line. But outside of that,
I think Sturk can turn it around.
He can. He'll have to play every game. They got no forward line. They need him to play. They need to pump games into him.
Is Taberner dropped or injured?
He's injured. I'm pretty sure.
No, because if he's fit, they'll play him.
Yeah.
Well, Taberner couldn't even kick goals.
He's shit.
They still play him. For whatever reason.
Taberner's only good against Essendon. Like, he's only good for a 7-goal game against Essendon, literally. Apart from us, he's a freaking spud against everybody else.
Like Peter Wright, mate.
It's like the good old Tipper on Anzac Day. Couldn't do anything against any other team except Collingwood.
No, he kicked 7 goals on Brisbane a couple of years ago. I'll have you know.
Oh.
All right.
Or Mason Cox in a prelim final.
Oh my God, that was the single in that. I don't think I've seen in recent times a more dominant just single person performance.
Actually, just put up Jai's one. That's a good one. Best strategy for head to head. So Jai, you're able to get a have a look at your opponents because you're able to get up, especially if you've got Supercoach Gold or and it's got the predictions if you're going to win or lose the next few weeks. So if you look like you're going to win those games and your opponents don't have Oliver, then you can go the value of Still. If you look like you're going to lose those games, then probably bring in Oliver. So just have a look at what your matchups say for the next 2 or 3 weeks are, and then make your decision on that for your strategy.
Yeah. So this is Corey's team.
Hey, Corey. Great North Melbourne man.
Cam Suvalaki. I've said this to Big J off the air. I reckon Cam Suvalaki is going to win a Coleman in his career.
So is Lewis, I reckon.
Oh, what a gun. Dacos, Sard, Sheasel, McKenna. Why has McKenna got an ice symbol? Bro, he scored 70 points. He should be on fire. He's got Rich out, Zorko out.
Spud. Shouldn't be in sides.
D6 next 3 weeks, mate.
D6 for sure.
D1, mate. I'm going to call it now.
You held on to Sard, Cam? Well done.
Is he injured? No, isn't he? Is he injured again?
Can you get injured?
Again?
Or is he? Or he got subbed out, definitely. I just don't know whether.
Out.
Let me get fan footy up.
I was watching the closer game. So.
Oh, for sure. You don't want to watch that freaking demolition.
No,
yeah,
he
definitely was. Yeah, he definitely was subbed out.
So he was managed then. First game back.
Managed, not injured.
Okay.
They were smashing him. Maybe he got bored. The ball wasn't getting down there. He was getting cold in the calves anyway.
That is true. Like
McKenna, Mitchell, between Dawson. Oh, he had the E on Dawson. I love you, Cam. That's funny. Lockie Cowan, Bond, Laird, Zeret, another Zeret owner. I'm actually surprised at the number of teams that we've seen today that has got Zeret in there. I'm actually fairly
Parish as well.
Yeah, and Parish as well. Like, I love it. Essendon players getting some love. I love to see it. Green, Day, Hopper, Set a Goat, Set a Chick, depending who you ask. Ashcroft. Rousted, yikes.
I've got Rousted. He's the one he might be getting traded this week.
God damn, that's annoying. English Grundy. Mate, you don't have Marshall? Cam doesn't have Marshall. You got Grundy instead of Marshall. Well, I think we know what you're doing this week. Toronto.
I think that's pretty common, actually.
What? No Marshall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people don't.
English and Grundy. It's pretty common.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay.
Or
if
Darcy
you
and Grundy.
It's one of the combinations. It's either you got Marshall, English, Marshall, Grundy, or English Grundy. And there's a lot of people
Darcy as well.
Yeah, all those people who traded Darcy to one of those guys and is hating life. But yeah, Darcy's in that combination. Not as many, but 8%. That round two, after round two, 8% traded Darcy.
Yeah, I traded him I traded him after the week after
game?
that.
Oh, the week after that.
After the not the showdown. What's it called?
The
Derby.
Derby.
The Derby, yeah. And then I traded him to English. And I don't regret it, but it's just annoying that he scored well, isn't it? I mean,
Taranto, Dunkley, Rosie, Goulden, Chandler, Green. Another one holding on to Kama. On you, Cam. Yeah, I think Kama comes back in. Caminiti, when he's off his suspension. I reckon he goes straight back in.
He has another week, doesn't he?
Yeah, one other week, I think.
Yeah, but
ground.
Will the Saints by then have most of their players back?
Yeah, but they got Membry who did absolutely nothing for him on the weekend. Like, you could see Ross was getting visibly pissed off in the box every time the ball was kicked inside 50, and he wouldn't bring the ball to ground. Like, it was just intercepted after intercept. And what Caminiti does, if he doesn't get the mark, he's bringing the ball to ground one way or another, which just allows the Smalls to get to work. And unfortunately, the Smalls weren't able to do that last week. And Alir had a field day, and someone else, I forgot who else was getting a bunch of intercept possessions back there. Yeah, he was not happy, Ross. Ross, the boss, was a very angry chappy. So yeah, I can see him coming. I can see Kama coming back in.
King, I just searched up so I think he's 2 to 3 now, because 26th of April it was 3 to 4. So Kama might get 1 week in there. Whether they choose Kama over Membry, I doubt it. But
or over Cordy.
I thought Scoops did an exclusive. King to be back in either 1, 2, or 3 weeks. Some of Cook's best works there.
Exclusive. We can exclusively reveal he'll be back in.
I'd say I'd
between
get banned, but I
1
was
and 3
I was banned from his page a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. No, it's that's fine.
Darcy Cameron could be as far as 8 weeks, Duke. Yeah, that's
exclusive.
it's not good. Yeah, that's
Exclusive to Centre Bounce.
Just exclusive for everything.
What about Stringer? Exclusively.
Cameroniti.
CBA's Hippo.
Cameroniti back in 2 weeks. That's an exclusive.
Mate,
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, Hippo, he is the worst pick you could possibly go for.
Jeez,
Mate, I'd rather pick Bruin.
No. Bruin? Get out of here. There's no way you possibly mean that. You laughed at that. Honestly. What? No, it's not package. Sorry, he's Stringer.
But Collingwood's updated and sent Cameron 6 weeks, but yeah, then
and then
do they rush him straight back in? Probably give him some match fitness.
Look at this. Look at this heat map. Come on! The heat map of dreams for Jake Stringer on the weekend. Look at that! Look at that!
I don't know how he can. I don't know how he can actually attend 32 CBAs. Mate, he still doesn't look that fit. Compared to
you can see the heat map. He doesn't leave the CBA area.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
he gets the clearance and just stands there.
He has not moved.
He gets a clearance and then has to go to the bench till the next CBA.
So that he can have a rest forward or something. Oh, that is funny. Yeah, no, that's a beautiful. I mean, look at that. 80% CBAs on the weekend with 4 goals for 145. That is very difficult to replicate. With 26 disposals at 65%. I mean, he even had 2 tackles. Like, this was a very complete game for the package on the weekend. To score a 145, like you wouldn't expect him to be able to replicate this sort of performance again, let alone the scoring.
Hippo, if you want to pick a bloke who only got 22 touches and a goal in the VFL, you go for it, mate. Who's you'd expect to be a primo, you go for it.
Look, he had an interrupted preseason, so you got to cut him some slack on that front. First game against St Kilda was a loss. Was very difficult.
What's
situation? $391, 800.
Yeah, but
break even of 12.
I don't. The thing is, at that price, you want to keep it, don't you?
You do.
You do, yes.
You do.
Stringer's not a keeper.
Especially if you're short on trades, you're not going to get him in to go, yeah, just make some quick cash, trade him out for Clary. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
it's not going to happen. Absolutely, it's not going to happen.
But Hippo, I need to catch up to you, so you go for it.
Yeah, no, Duke's asking, why is everyone sold on trading Green? His break-even is very achievable. Break-even of 57.
The issue is Mitch Lewis is back and they're targeting him a whole heap more. So that's the issue.
Correct. Yes, I dubbed it darts on you, Duke. He didn't start Marshall. He went Darcy Witts. Darts, I dubbed it, and I didn't go with it. I wish I backed my gut and didn't start Marshall, but whatever, it is what it is. It would have been funny to go with darts. Another 2 weeks apparently, says Travis, for Caminiti. So was it 4 weeks or did it get downgraded down to 3?
I thought he got 3.
Yeah, it's 3, Travis. So only 1 week left.
Also, I've just realised that my first team had English and Dacos in the team, and then I swapped those for I swapped those for Doherty and Darcy.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. How bad is it? Like, yeah, there was a couple of the guys. Like, I had Oscar Allen in my starting team. His 175k cash that he made would have been handy. There's a couple others that are just banging my head against the wall. So I went Dacos to Ridley. Just I said it. I
I
should
did
have.
that as well. That's what I
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
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 Should have just
Do you
put
still
my
have him?
starting team up and. Oh well.
Do you still have Ridley?
No, he was long gone, mate.
Mate, I've got to hold the man till the bye.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, is it crazy of me to flip him into English like next week? Because I've got Samson Ryan at R2 and I obviously can't last long with that.
Depends on what he scores this week, really. I mean, if he gets a 95 to a ton, I think it's almost worth just holding him to the buys. He's not going to drop much in cash. If you look at the moment, he's only dropping like 5K at a time.
Yeah, I know. It just sucks that the longer I hold him, the more he's just dropping in price. I won't be able to do something worthwhile with him. And he's not even top 15 defender this year. But yeah, so Blues fan, has his team of Thanks Basil, ranked 27K. He's thinking of doing Setters, Green, and McKenna to Sicily, Cogs, and Chincotta. Would bring him to 3 rookies on field, plus Ashcroft and Sheasel. So that's 4 rookies on field, like us, and Sheasel, who we consider to be a primo. So that's good. Dawson, Dacos, Sard, Zeeble, McKenna, Stonks Rising, Euland. You've got Euland. Oh, he's played 2 games. Do you have Constable? And you've got Constable. Jay Stewart Dew is grasping you by the balls here with these two Gold Coast rookies: Wilmot, Mitchell, Bont, Laird, Green, Rosie, Day, Hopper, Setterfield, Ashcroft. Nice. Rowan, Marshall, English, Taranto, Dunkley, Goulden, Sheasel, Fergus, Green, Van Rooyen. Yeah, these 2 have really let you down on field. Thinking of doing Setterfield, Green, and McKenna to Sicily, Cogs, and Chincotta. Would you trade out McKenna at this point, even though with the news now that
No, you don't
Zorko
touch
out, Rich out? Like I would be holding McKenna this week, Blues fan. I wouldn't be trading him out. Fergus Green can go. Yeah, absolutely. Were you planning on trading out Green? Yes, you were. You were trading out Setters as well. Yep. You need to get Chincotta in, that's for sure. So many terrible rookies, unfortunately. Like Euland. Don't think he's ever going to play. Johnson, suspended. Roberts, dead. Constable, stuck in jail. Hopefully Madden comes. Phillips, relying on injury. Alwyn Davey. Who knows if he gets named this week against Port Adelaide. Fingers crossed he does. But yeah, the rookie situation is not looking good on the bench.
I just had a look. And there's that many teams called Thanks Basil. How does that even happen?
Yeah, I know. There's so many of them.
There's someone in my mates league called Thanks Basil, and I was like, "What? How is this? Is this him?"
No, there's so many Thanks Basils, as you can see. Yeah, it's a rough situation to be in, but yeah, I think Green and Setterfield are both very tradable. Sicily, Cogs, and Chincotta. Yeah, I think Sicily is good to get in. Cogs is certainly good to. What's Cogs' break even like? Has Cogs how much has Cogs risen?
It'll still be very low.
Yeah, it will still be very low. Still 526. So he's still 30K, almost 31K less than.
His break even only went up 10.
Break even of 57. You'd think you'd get that.
The issue with him is he's about the same price as Steele now. So, but you can wait a week on Steele. There's no reason you can't.
Yeah. So Cogs is 57. What was Steele's break even?
126.
Yeah. So if you're playing the break even game, then getting Cogs probably is the way to go, I'd reckon.
Here's a team that you can get up, mate.
Yeah.
I'll spell it. It's Ready Roos. REEDY ROOS.
Oops. Emily.
Oh no.
That's the lowest I found. It's the lowest I found.
It's like, oh no.
It's the lowest I found.
Wait, is this the lowest one possible?
It's the lowest I found so far.
Dacos captain, of course. Luke Ryan.
So
Velocity.
now,
How are you
this is what we're talking about. If you were 164,000, and no offense there to you, that's Emily, is it?
Yeah.
Maybe you could still play for something. You could still play for a weekly price. I would recommend trying to set yourself to one of the bye weeks and try to get $1,000 richer than everybody else. That's my only advice.
She's not even averaging 1,000.
Yeah, I know.
I might make a team and make it a goal to beat her.
But she's
Emily. Emily, I'm going to take this time. I did not know. I did not know this was going to happen. I promise. I did not set this up. I had no idea.
Her team went up 1.5 million in value this week.
Oh my god!
Just keep bringing rookies. Let's see how value your team could get.
Imagine how much cash in the bank she would have.
It has to.
She hasn't logged in after this. After probably round one.
Surely not.
There's no way she's logged on and be like, "Oh, this is fine."
Montgomery.
Her boyfriend's convinced her to put a team in, and then they've broken up, and she's like, "Why am I doing Super Coach? Let's go that." There's a couple that I didn't actually know there was that feature. I just logged on the PC. It's got the biggest. It had the biggest movers and shakers for the week, and it's got like these people have gone up in value like 1.5 million in cash for 1 week. I'm like, how is that even possible? And clearly it is. Just unreal. It's funny because King in the North went up 1,000 in rank. And there's some of his team where I'm like, no, this guy looks like he's actually been trading in and out. Yeah, it's unreal. The amount of rookies in a couple of these teams.
What the hell? Why are there 2 King in the Norths in the 160,000s? Which one are we talking about?
Because it's North, mate. It's North.
Can I share my screen real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%, mate.
I just want to show Hippo something.
Oh, Hippo, this is for you. God has a special message to you, and you're not dreaming. Doesn't steal.
I'd do the 2 trades, Harry. I'd probably do the 2 trades, buddy. I like track. And thoughts on Atkins? Wait a week. Have a look. If he comes out and goes 90 plus again, well, we'll be discussing that at length next week.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll join back in 1 second. I need to allow my laptop to allow this, but this is very important. This is very important. I'll be back in like less than a minute.
Okay, yeah, no worries, mate.
And we've talked about here Tickle at death. I said, if you kind of ranked outside that 20,000, yeah, I would seriously consider Tickle. If you're inside, especially if you're inside the 10,000, don't. One of the teams in my public league scored 1,500. Yeah, and that's the hard thing, especially if you're in we had I think in a draft this week, and one of the teams, a keeper league, and this guy's rebuilding, and he scored absolutely horrible. But you can understand in the keeper league because he's gone out and tried to get rookies for the long term. But then everybody that he's playing each week is just getting a percentage booster to the week where he, then these rookies fire and you don't get the percentage against him, which is frustrating, which will probably be me when I play him.
He's bringing the game into disrepute.
Yeah.
Mate.
No, here we go.
Can you see that? This is who you're bringing in.
It's amazing.
Oh, the lion, king of the jungle. He's the king stringer.
Let's look at this.
Oh my god!
Why
does his head look so small in this photo?
Oh my god! Yeah. Anyway, that is the bloke you were bringing in.
I'm just trying to get into his mental space there, where he goes, you know what? I think this is going to look good on me. Like, how
I
does
don't know,
that
man.
conversation go down? And how do you walk into the tattoo parlor, give that guy that stencil and go, this is what I want? And he's like, okay. Like,
Do you know if this will not look good?
what
I
about
don't care.
Ratatouille to Tickle? Yeah, mate. Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, that could work.
The
Yeah,
peanut
for
cake
me,
string.
for me now, it's just aren't we just counting down to 2028 till we actually get some rookies?
Yeah,
Like,
I know, right?
bring on Hobart. How,
Oh man, that would
those
be
who didn't play
exciting.
Supercoach when the Giants and Suns were around.
Oh, mate,
Yeah,
that's going to be one of the best Supercoach seasons ever.
yeah, that's right. Like team value, like that 1.5 by Emily, we'll be smashing that out of the park.
Imagine the buy when GWS, not GWS. Sorry, I'm thinking of the old days. Imagine the
Yeah.
buy when Tassie Devils play.
Wow, yeah, that would be mad. We've got a new CEO in the AFL as well. So
Dylan, the in our group chat we had the like with who was it? Somebody had all these Dracula memes going, and
Yeah.
it's just brilliant.
and
Mate, it's
Yeah, new
honestly
CEO,
ridiculous.
new
Like,
team. It's all happening.
mate, it's ridiculous. Not only did it take them 18 months to find a new CEO, but he's not in till October.
I know.
That is ridiculous. That's 2 years.
He's got the easiest smooth transition in the history of football, this guy. Like,
Oh my
honestly. Like,
And I reckon he knew a year ago. He knew a year
Probably.
ago. There's no way. Oh my god.
I think, what was his name? Eddie Maguire was all over him. He was like, oh, Andrew Dillon. It's like, you know, and Eddie Maguire was all over it, I'm pretty sure, like ages ago. So I think someone must have told him. And then he didn't get the message that it was a secret. If you're checking out teams, Juniors Juggernauts. All right, let's pull up Juniors Juggernauts. Without the U? Okay. Which one? There's multiple Junior Juggernauts, dummy. I don't know what your real
That's the
name
hard
is,
with
mate.
some of these with some of these teams because you got
Juggernauts.
different names and stuff like that.
Juggernauts.
I'll
So
put that
good
one.
one.
I'll guess that one. 547k cash. Keon Takel and Chincotta in, and boosting for an upgrade this week, and maybe a double up next. Thoughts on outs and the primo. 21,000 rank, so not far. Dacos Day. Whoa, that's an interesting backline. Dacos Day, Zeeble, Sheasel, Bucks.
God, well done to those guys.
And McKenna.
And McKenna.
D1.
Still got Jimby.
Yeah, rack him off.
Bond, Laird, Taranto, Green, Hopper, Setters, Ashcroft, Baker with a 69, bit of Nurse, Hollins, Wilmot, Roberts, that was a killer. What can you do? You can't predict this stuff.
No, that's
Grundy,
right.
Marshall, Dunkley, Rosie, Cogs, Goulden, Chandler, Green, and I don't know what his bench is because it's too big. All right, Seamus Mitchell, Van Rooyen. So he's got playing rookies here, making money. He's got 547k in the bank.
Oh my god.
Why do you have
Does he
547?
have Clary?
Nope.
It's time to get him in.
It's time to get Clayton Oliver, dummy. Congratulations, you're about to have
Time to get that
M1.
Absolutely atrocious haircut in.
Oh, it's bad.
He's keen on
It's
getting
bad.
Tico and Chincotta, and boosting for an upgrade this week, and maybe a double up next. He doubled down last week. Okay, yeah. Well, that explains why he got such an absurd amount of money in the bank.
It's actually a good score for that much money in the bank.
Yeah, 22.45. Well done. But yeah, Grundy's got to go. You could do Grundy to English and get Setterfield up to Clary, can't he? With that much money? So you could get Chincotta in. Yeah, you can get Chincotta in, Grundy to English, and Setters to Clary. Because Grundy's got to go, yeah? His break even.
Yeah.
His break even's 158.
Yeah.
All right, I've got the next team up. If you want me to have a look, show you that. So Jonas Goat wanted us to look at rank 15 in the centre bounce group.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, while you're looking that up, I'll answer Jennifer's question.
Or do you want me to,
we maybe discuss it.
There you go.
That was great question, Jen. Captains and VCs this week, which is obviously an important discussion. Easy for those to have Roberts this week because you've got the loophole playing on the Sunday afternoon. So that does open up a lot of options. I don't mind VCing Timmy Taranto versus West Coast.
Yeah.
Definitely a good option there. If for whatever reason you do have one of those Geelong forwards, I like your VCs who can really spike hard. Clary against Gold Coast has to be an option either way. So there's a part of me that was thinking nearly Timmy into Clary, but I probably will end up doing like Clary into Bont. That's probably my safety.
If you stay on your phone, you'll be able to do that for sure. Because
I think Taranto
straight after.
Yeah.
You've also got there's not really anyone for Collingwood. I mean, can you go Marshall against Todd? I don't think so.
Yeah, and I don't like Marshall's that sort of guy that's a good VC. I don't like sort of seeing him and my captain's always a safety option. That's the kind of way.
I don't really like either of Dawson or Laird. Or Taranto. The only reason Taranto is a good option this week, I think, is because it's West Coast.
Yeah, that was the same against last week. The Suns,
correct.
The issue with him,
is
he butchers the disposal, and I know he's had 2 weeks in a row where he's had pretty good disposal, but He's gone the back-to-back 140s now. And I said at the start of the year, once he gets synergy with the rest of the group, he will be Richmond's number 1 midfielder by a long way.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And that's clear as day. You're right on the money there.
The basic option is good.
Yeah. Because he couldn't easily go 140 again.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got Taranto VC. I'm thinking of doing Taranto into Oliver this week.
Yeah, it's something that I don't mind. I really don't mind.
Where are they playing? Where's the Melbourne
the Richmond
playing?
game? The Richmond game's the G. So Melbourne's playing up at Heritage.
Oh my god! They're playing. And what time is that? 4:35. Dewy conditions up on the Gold Coast.
Oh, that's Oliver Central.
That is Oliver Central.
Get Shaq in here, mate. Let's get him.
I was going to say we need to get Shaq on here. Man, he's gonna lap it up. If you don't have Oliver, you could have Wits. Oh my god, Hippo's doubling down here. Ladies and gentlemen. Full
time mid. Yes.
Look, Hippo. If that happens, we're winning the flag. So. I hope this works. I hope this is true.
We were trying to work out what's the best case scenario for the other clubs in the 8. Essendon finish 4th, so it's the straight sets, or Essendon finish 5th and lose the home final because they don't win finals.
We don't win finals.
They're walking the path. Like I would love Richmond to get on a run and just sneak into 8th and play the Bombers, who are 5th, who are like 5 games ahead of us in wins. And then play that game at the G, and we just walk through the Bombers' first week of finals. But that would be amazing.
Double dummy. Could average 150 and still ain't taking him. Oh my god. But yeah, this is Jonas Goat's team. Rank 1075, very high rank. Well done. Scored 22.99. Dacos. Oh, with Captain Dacos as well. What could have been, man? You could have been top 1,000 this week otherwise. Stewart, Sinclair, Zeeble, Sheasel, Chesser. Looping between Cowan and Wilmot. Oh, Cowan didn't play. Bont, Clary, Green, Cogs, Hopper, Setterfield, Ashcroft, Chincotta. Oh, so you went early on Chincotta. Very nice. And you got Libba on the bench. Oh, so Libba should be back this week, so you get an extra premium on the field. So Chincotta gets pushed off. English Marshall, Taranto.
You can probably loop with Ashcroft as well with Chincotta, because there's a possibility that Chincotta gets more than Ashcroft.
Yeah, Brisbane are playing against
Carlton. They're playing. Oh no, you can't do it. Oh,
they're both playing the same.
Yeah,
time.
they're playing the same. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking with Wilmot versus
Chincotta as well.
And then you can't do it. I'm like, oh well, that doesn't freaking work, does it?
So yeah, you have to back one of them. Who would you go, Chincotta or Ashcroft?
Yeah, I'm going Ashcroft, but can you put Chincotta out? Can you
Wait,
put
but Chincotta can be
anywhere else?
moved into the back line.
Yeah, can you move him in the
can
back line?
move
Sure, he's
Chesser.
got Chesser back there. Yeah.
Chesser,
Yeah.
Wilmot, yeah.
And just play Chincotta over Wilmot.
Yeah, you'd back Chincotta over Wilmot. Yeah. But yeah,
The better thing would be, does he have Mitchell? Does he have Seamus Mitchell?
Yes, on field.
He could effectively run Wilmot into Mitchell and put one of the North boys forward.
That's right.
not a bad shout.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very
You're
nice.
going to play
Well,
one of the
you can
North
all-
boys on field anyway.
Yeah.
So why not have two cracks at Mitchell with Wilmot?
Absolutely. There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. That's why we have you on. More than just a pretty face. There you go, Jonas. You've been helped.
Yeah,
by the
Corey,
Squiggler.
I realise that, mate. I realise that. Again, don't take my hope away from me. I know we're shit. Okay, and I know we don't have a draft pick this year. Giants don't. But this is part. We were talking about this. This is part of the long-term plan, because this is what's going to happen. We're going to win the wooden spoon. GWS are going to get Harley Reid, and they're going to develop him. And in 5 years' time, he just comes back to Richmond like the rest of the GWS boys.
I don't know. You might go to Carlton. GWS, the GWS
great.
Blues.
So the crap ones go to Carlton, and we
That's
get
right.
the good ones. You
great to see
guys
that
in
this is-
Carlton get the spuds.
Yeah, it's
Well,
great to see that.
Like
Collingwood's-
Caldwell is no spud. I'll have
Yeah,
you
good
know.
Jen. Good Jen. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Jen-
great to see that Collingwood's finally
Jen
better
following me
than
on Twitter. Get on.
Swizz.
So what was
I
that?
mean, it's good to see that Collingwood's finally better than Richmond for once.
Hey, Kyle would have been pretty solid for a few years.
Yeah.
Oh,
what are you talking
You guys
about?
can't. You guys
No,
can't complain.
We did beat you in a prelim, but I mean,
Yeah,
last year it still
yeah.
wasn't. We were just winning close games. There was a lot of up in the air about us whether we'd back it up.
Yeah,
Just
but you
great
played in
to
a grand
finally-
final like 4 years ago and that, and yeah, you've been up there. Yeah, I like that. I'm trying to see if I actually knew. I'd seen Jen at the footy, but
Yeah, Double Dummy
yeah,
says,
global.
yeah, Hawks. Yeah, you guys are better than the Hawks, North
Yeah.
and West Coast. What are you talking about? Like, you get
Are we-
pick 4 at best.
hang on. We lost to North last year. Like that's no gimme for.
Yeah, but
we-
how
we'll
many
lose the-
behinds did
we
you
lose
kick
the West.
that game?
Watch Toronto go 160 and we lose to West Coast.
Yeah, but how many behinds did you kick that game? 11 goals, 22.
And you're the worst because I play winter cricket, so I didn't go to that game. Saturday game, so I won't be at the Richmond West Coast this week. And all my North mates, and I actually have North mates. I think I've got 4 North mates, so all of North Melbourne supporter base.
Yeah.
And we were down at the pub watching that game, and I tell you what, it was the worst friggin' 2 hours of my life for those boys.
Oh boy, I can imagine.
What is
Oh, mate.
Angwin's job security? The Duke, don't even think about it. Do you remember Ralston? Do you remember the rest of those Giants, mate? Don't even consider it.
What the hell is Angwin? I haven't heard anything about him before now. Angwin.
He's the third most traded in player this week, I think.
Yeah, I know. Let him do it. And then watch him come out and buddy score 70 or something. Yeah, you know what I'm really dirty on still? Port Adelaide dropping Dylan Williams last week.
Oh,
And then making him sub. And then best cash cow going round all of a sudden. What
he was
is
in my
that
side.
about Ken Hinkley?
He was in my side, like 100%. And then
He was
and
in
then it was like,
over Johnson.
dropped.
I had him in over Johnson
Me too.
because didn't want that spud in my team.
Exactly.
I'm taking Dylan Williams, and then all of a sudden Williams dropped. And well, I can't pick him now.
Exactly.
I'll get him next week. Oh, he's the sub.
The sub rule.
What a joke. What a genuine joke that was.
Ryan Angwin.
I was never thinking about him. That still doesn't hurt me as bad.
He was in my team all week. So like, yeah, well, Dylan Williams is my forward line. Beautiful. He's playing defense for Port. Why not? He's gonna, and I was actually talking about like he's getting dual position status. Like perfect. I want another one of them in my team.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Yeah,
so
I agree, Corey. I'm pretty sure you listened to my pod too, Corey. So you would have listened to me crap on about that for an hour. Yeah, Big Tommy, I get it too. Simpson, yeah, people can't afford it. It's 166k. It's hard. It's a small. The hard thing, any small forward like that, I wouldn't go near. But it's Geelong, and Geelong are just going to towel some sides. I'm scared of what they're going to do to us the following week. Like
24 years
Simpson
old.
played a bit of mid back in the day, didn't he?
Yeah, he can legitimately get up the ground, but do they actually need him to? But then, could they like get a couple of those other cats just to rest and relax when they get 10 goals up against the Crows this week at home?
No CBAs. 564. He had 50% disposal efficiency on the weekend.
Yeah, so that can improve.
Yeah, very much.
What did he have the week before that?
He had 80 points.
Disposal
64% disposal efficiency. So that's a bit better.
Again,
he moved up the ground a bit more.
He's clearly just sitting at the feet of Hawkins and Cameron, which is not a bad place to be.
I mean, it's a very nice place to be. I wouldn't. There's not many feats I'd like more than those two, right? Far out. They ate us alive on the weekend.
The three of us could sit at the feet of Jeremy Cameron and Hawkins and probably get a kick.
Yeah, easily. Each. They all got no job security. Look, Hippo, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
We are, Hippo. Like
it's
until George Wardlord starts playing for North, and even that's an expensive rookie. There's nothing, mate.
We need the MSD. We need the mid-season draft.
I just actually had up the options under 200k that are available the following week and what they scored this week, and I'll have to find it again. But this is genuinely disgusting. Where is it?
I don't know what Jake Stringer's job security is, considering he's close to failing a fitness test every week.
So, under 200k, we've got Angus Sheldrick, something like that. Sheldrick, that's the one from Sydney. First score 11, 165k. Then we've got Weddle, who's all right at 38 points last week. Max Ramsden from Hawthorn, ruck forward, 22 points. And then Mark Sheether, defensive forward from the Swans, scored a 9. Like there's some quality players that could be on the bubble next week.
Yeah. Duke needs to go, so we'll quickly answer his question, I think.
Yeah.
Grundy, Setters, and Green will go. Steele will come in. Teakle, Simpson, Angwin will come in. Is there anyone you really like under 560k in the midfield?
What have we? I think we've made it obvious we like Steele a lot.
Yeah.
But he's already.
What's the Goey going to be at soon? Because De Goey's price soon could be very good.
Everyone's got Tom Green.
Well, Darcy Parish is 559, so that's under 560. But we talked about Mason Wood before. Noah Anderson. I talked about him 2 weeks ago. Like with Took out, he could be the guy.
This could be biased, but I still don't.
Jordan De Goey, break even of 118, so unlikely to go above that.
I mean, I know this is an unpopular opinion, and it could be a bit biased, but I like Scott Pendlebury as a pick.
Yep, you're biased. We'll move on.
No, I can get that.
Mate, I seriously might get. I'm gonna try and get him in this season at some point. I think if he keeps up the form.
Yeah, Adam Chair has got a 3-round average of 128. Where did that guy come from?
Wow. Yes.
Actually,
Get sick. Get sick, dog.
Actually, I will tell you the one that I do like. This is my bias with your Pendles, Jaden Short.
Yeah.
If he plays anywhere near
don't
that
mind that
half-back line, if he plays anywhere near half-back, which he is, and because we're awful and he is playing half-back, he'll score 110 for fun.
Someone commented on my video saying Jaden Short as an option.
Yeah.
Why is he starting off the interchange?
Because if he gets...
it was the Duke. It was Duke.
Yeah, because if he plays at half-back and gets dual position, then...
Ugh.
What was that? Was that on the weekend?
That was round 2.
Yeah, now round 1 and 2 he was playing up. He was in the midfield.
Oh, there you go. Round 3.
Round 6 he
That's
definitely
nice.
played back because I was there for that one.
Then round 6. That was round 6, and this is round 7.
7, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He moves back, and he's just fantasy god. Like he had 32 touches on the weekend.
Duke asked me about this, and
Yeah.
my thought process was there is every chance that maybe a player goes down in a midfield like a Dion Prestia. If he's not already down, is Dion Prestia down?
No, they rested it. We rested him this week.
Yes,
we had the win against the Suns sewn up with Tuke out.
And I just
why is Short have 14% CBAs?
Oh, they threw him in there. Why not?
That's the only thing that stresses me out about Short. We know when he plays midfield, he just doesn't score that well.
The thing is now with Taranto and Hopper, it's like Presti is the third in there. If it's not him, they do throw Baker or actually Shai Bolton played a lot more CBAs this week.
Yeah.
Too. Like because his form has been awful up forward. So they're trying to get him in the game. And they know Short's best position's half back. So why not just keep him down there? I did have the Tigers breakdown. It was, Taranto 19, Hopper 15, and Bolton had 14. And there weren't that many inside 50s because there's barely a goal kicked all day. So I think mate. I think Short had about, it might have only been 2 CBAs for the day.
What about Matt Rao, Pod?
I like him.
I do like Rao. But he took an outside mark yesterday and we got up and applauded him. That's it.
I did see that. That was the 5 minutes of the game I actually watched.
Yeah. He has no outside game about him, and that's why I can't pick him. But we did clap. It was quite humorous. And my mate's, I was going to say his girlfriend, but his female friend that was with us and that, she's just looking at us like, what the hell are you doing? And we're clapping rally, took a mark. Amazing stuff.
On the outside.
On the outside. You know what
11 tackles.
He's getting 10 tackles a game.
9 tackles.
He is.
Yeah, I mean, disposal efficiency is never too hot shot, but that's his thing. 17,
and he doesn't get many of them.
Yeah, not many disposals either. His time on ground, roughly around the 80% mark, which is not bad. 109, 124, 108, his last 3 weeks. Why do you only score a 51? 12 disposals.
Again, he just doesn't get the ball. That's the problem.
Yeah. With 3 frees 4. Jeez. If he only scored a 51, that's no good. Hippo's asking us, what are you guys ranked?
Yeah, you can get up my team. Why not?
I'm ranked.
I usually sit there and say, watch my video, but jump in.
I'm ranked 1664. Let's see.
Get up my team and then I'll call it a night.
Yo!
We'll start to wrap it up.
I type in Swizz. Some guy named Tyler's put up Swizz Goats.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Tyler. But look at his ranking. That's awful.
We got to give him a shout out.
Yeah, we do.
Someone who loves Swizz. Dan Rioli.
That could be a genuine awesome stuff there, mate.
Brendan Cox. McGovern.
I love
He's better than Emily.
Yeah, that is true. That's right.
He scored 1,700. Emily only scored 1,400 this week.
Yeah.
Lift your game, Emily. What are you doing? What is this nonsense?
Like, I feel like, I don't know what's happened to Tyler here, because he's clearly listened to my pod starting off of the season, because these players, I was all over telling people to pick it.
Yeah.
And he's legitimately gone and pick. It's like, yeah, that hasn't worked. Okay, start new team or something like this. Except for Swansea. I don't know how Swansea gets in. No, there's no way I would have said pick Tyler Swansea, but that's great.
Bobby, you know this on. How are you, Bobby? Love having him on.
Great.
2 hours still going. Yeah, I know. We might have to call it a night soon.
Yeah, I've only got work at like 4 a.m., but that's cool. Punt Road Legends is mine.
I reckon we'll probably check out both our teams and then.
Yeah, and then we'll call it.
Everybody's out in Punt Road.
Yeah, that's me.
2460. Very nice. Very highly ranked. Much better than me. It is what it is. Dawson, Dacos, Day, Zeeble, Sheasel, Jones.
Yeah, he's gone this week. Liam's gone to Sin Cotter. Whatever we're going for. China Cotter.
Cotta. Bonds, Oliver, Laird, Green, Cogs, Goulden, Hopper, Will, Rouston sucked, Constable, English Marshall, Taranto, Dunkley, Rosie, Chandler, Van Rooy, Mitchell. They freaking killed you. They killed you, these two.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shame.
But yeah, well done. It's very strong, very good position to be in. On your Swizz, absolute superstar.
There you go, first one.
Ran 14K for the God. Dawson, Dacos, Zeeble, fellow Rids sufferer like me.
Yep.
Hazel, Cowan, limping between McKenna, Mitchell. On your McKenna D1 for the next 6 weeks. Montepelli, Clary, Green, Goulden, Hopper, set a chick, depending who you ask. Ashcroft, Constable, Wilmot, Davey Johnson, English Marshall, Madden, Timmy T, Josh D, Connor Rose, Stephen Cornelio, Kate Chandler, Fergus Green, Van Rooyen, and Roberts.
See, right now, a lot of our teams are very similar.
Yeah.
Like, it's legitimately, I think I put like some of the guys I played this week, and it's literally 3 or 4 players different.
Yeah, Pommy. That is 100% the case. Worst thing, you pick the original side, you're off the as Double W knows, my grandma's team is doing very well. The off the cuff team, I put it in my grandma's name, and it's doing a lot better than what my team is doing, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for coming on. It's now 10:04. It's
that was good.
Very late for a Monday.
I'm up till 3 a.m. anyway on the Discord most nights. So
yeah, I'll be getting up for work at that time, but that's it's but yeah, I put on the chat before, guys. If you don't follow me, it's Swizz26 Super Coach Insider 100, or come subscribe. The best thing you can do for a lot of us following on our channels is subscribe to all our channels. Even if you're not watching all our videos, that's fine, and even just spread the word, because obviously the more subscribers we have, it does help us in the long term. So do that, and so that's the big thing. If you've got YouTube accounts, or even if you've got friends or family, just say, can you just subscribe to these guys? And that that would help awesome. But it's been awesome chatting with the community, and that for me, I think I'll be doing my shit on Thursday. Last week I had Emily come and do Q&A with me, which was awesome. I don't know who I've lined up this week, if anyone, but probably going to do that and some footy talk. So always love doing that, and love being with you here, mate. Talking Supercoach and Supercoach God. It was awesome, mate.
Yeah, mate. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, so go check out our channels. I mean, mate, I don't know about when I was first watched the Centre Bounce, I reckon it was just Big J on the channel.
It was
way back when, 3 years ago, maybe. But yeah, the rise you boys have had, it's amazing. And then Supercoach Inside is just a dominant force, isn't it? I mean, You're killing it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
guys,
that's
this
my
is
channel.
the Coach Clyde's channel, guys. So please head on over. Make sure you subscribe. He's now up to 281 subs. Let's push him up to 1,000. Come on, guys, we can do it. And then Supercoach Insider, these guys look 2.59k. You know, very small channel. They need all the help they can get, guys. You know what I mean? So we got to help our brothers out here. Honestly, these
Get 'em
guys
to
are
5K.
yeah, get them to 5k. Absolutely. I mean, these guys are absolute genuine
I think
superstars.
Supercoach God's got up 2 subscribers since then. So that's it, guys. Get on. Keep going.
Yeah.
Well done,
Get
fellas.
around us.
Honestly, these guys, absolute superstars, coming on, giving us, 2.5 hours of their night on a Monday night. I mean, all of our guests that come onto our streams, we are immensely grateful, and we love having these discussions and these talks and just having some fun and smack talking and stuff like that. So thank you so much, guys, for coming on. You are all friends of the channel, and we'd love to have you on as much as we possibly can. And best of luck to your teams this week.
You too, mate.
Cheers, mate.
And that includes your Bombers as well.
Yeah.
Cheers, brother. Cheers. So
I
hope
Stringer gets a 40 for Hippo.
Yeah, look, Hippo.
I hope he gets I hope he
haters,
gets 200. Hippo, I hope he gets 200, and you come back and be like, boys.
He'll come onto my channel and kill me.
Massive love, Pommy. And if you guys have not subbed to Pommy and Oz, you guys would be absolutely doing yourselves a massive disservice. This guy knows so much about the game. His takes are incredible. And if you're a Carlton fan, then double the fun. Most fun you can have fully closed 3 hours with Joe. Pommy, honestly, you smooth talker. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, guys.